gentlemen.
Yo! Yo! It's Friday! Wake the fuck up! It's Friday! Let's do this thing. It's Friday morning. I'm excited. Coming to you live from California. Coming to you live, California, with a lot of entertainment news here. I am the outlaw John Rocha, sitting in for my brother in life and the chairman of the board, Christian Harloff. Excited to have a great group of people around us today to talk about all the entertainment news that's happening. Maybe a little non-spoiler Boba review. Non-spoiler. Oh, shit! I blew it already. Non-spoiler Mandalorian review. We'll see what happens. I blew it. Look, all I'm saying, hey, they showed Boba already. They showed Boba already.
Oh, man. All right, Jesus, that was early.
Oh, Christian's going to shoot me now. But look, they showed
talking
Boba.
About tapioca that's in the little
that's what I meant.
Exactly what I got right here. That's what I got in my background. That's all
what he's talking about.
I was talking about ginkgo biloba. I didn't know how to say it, so I apologize, everybody. That's what I was talking about. No, just joking. So we're going to get into a lot of things here today. I'm excited for it. I'm so dead. I'm so fucking dead. Let's meet everybody who's with us today. Start off with the beautiful, lovely, talented Sabrina Ramirez. How are you, Sabrina?
Hi, doing great. Happy to be here. Celebrating Boba behind Alex.
That's right. Boba's the Boba.
Drink.
That's what we're talking about. Boba. Sabrina, have you gotten a chance to see the Selena series yet or no?
I haven't. I was actually going to watch it for Geeks of Color. Have you checked
Cool.
it out?
Not yet. No, I think I'm saving Sunday to do that myself. So shout out. Maybe we'll compare notes down the road. Brett Sheridan getting his morning coffee on, getting ready for his Constitution. How are you, my man?
I'm doing great. Why doesn't nobody ever believes it when I say it?
Because you add the sarcastic tone
Look
to
at
it
this,
like you do
though.
everything.
I really need to take care of these. There's something going.
Let me tell you, get some good lighting, Brett. That helps.
Some
There we go.
baggage.
Just do
That
this
helps.
the whole time.
Trust me, I look like Dorian Gray once the lights are off. Alex Marzoña, how are you, brother, man?
Hello, I'm good. I got a good morning workout in, so I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good this morning.
Nice.
Yeah.
Did you drink your
Hot Brand
boba?
2020. I did drink my 2020. My boba. Yes.
Yeah, nice right there. Yeah, good. I'm so dead. Ryan Nilsen, how are you? How are things, brother, man?
Oh my goodness, I am great. I had a good workout this morning as well. It's just been a content-filled week in America, and this morning was maybe the highlight of all that. So I'm great. How are you, John? By the way, I just want to say,
donated $20.
James.
James.
I finally started Clone Wars after last week's episode of Mando, so it didn't really hit for me like everyone else, but this week's episode was fucking fire. Seeing Homeboy come back with Homegirl, it was phenomenal. I can't believe they did.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Don't know what he's talking about.
That's how you don't
I have no
spoil
idea
it.
what you're talking
Say
about.
Homeboy and homegirl.
Homeboy.
Leave it at
That's all
that.
you have to say.
Girl.
That's all you have to say. I'm going to read my tweet. It was, here's my non-spoiler reaction. Oh, Stonehenge. Okay. No way. Oh, damn. She's back. Well, it's confirmed then. Don't mess with the Force. Badass battle. Oh, damn. No. Wow. Oh, no. Not him. Can't wait for next week. That's it. Thanks so much for watching. That's good to go. Crazy things. I mean, are we going to get into it? Are we allowed to get into it, Ryan? A little non-spoiler?
Non-spoiler. I mean, I love that tweet. My tweet reaction was Michael Scott in The Office just going, I love it more. I love it. And that's really how I felt the whole episode.
Nice.
I mean, we can get a little into it, but let's try not to spoil it for anyone who hasn't seen it, because it's a pretty magical one.
I'm in trouble. So this was a 35-minute episode. Robert Rodriguez directed this one. Of course, many of you know from Dusk Till Dawn, Spy Kids, numerous Sin City, numerous El Mariachi, Desperado, all those things that he's done throughout his career. And it's a tough task to direct an episode right after what many might argue is the greatest episode of The Mandalorian with the reveals we got last week. It's a tough thing, and you're setting up what we're going to get in the last two episodes of the season finale. I imagine, of this particular season. So it's a tough ask of a director, and I thought he stepped in and did a marvelous job directing this episode. Whether you like the episode, love the episode or not, you can't deny it was directed really well, and I enjoyed that. It was great to see a Latino get a chance to direct some Star Wars shit. That was great to see. The people that came back was a nice revelation. We got more with Grogu. We got more with the Mandalorian, that developing relationship as well. And we got a little appearance from the big baddie at the end there. So overall, what do you guys think? What did you all watch it? Did everybody watch it? Yes. Okay.
Oh, we watched it, John.
I was drinking my boba. Sabrina, what did you think about this particular episode?
Yeah, I echo everything that you said. I actually was so invested into this one, even more so than last week. I don't know why. Right from the start, the interactions that we got between the characters, obviously between Grogu and the Mandalorian, that's not a spoiler, they interact.
Yeah.
But I loved kind of a lot of the humor that was sprinkled in throughout the episode. That's what really kind of took me back. It took me back to the OG trilogy. It took me back to what I loved about Star Wars. Yeah. So that's something that I really love. Robert Rodriguez did an incredible job. I was so pumped, especially by the end of the episode. I was crying. I don't know if it's been that kind of week, but with what happened, I was so hurt in my heart. But yeah, I really, really enjoyed this one.
Sheridan?
Yeah, there was some crying from one of my family members as well. Very intense crying. Very intense crying from a child who's been around the biz for a while and still doesn't understand how story and screenwriting works, and that you need to put people in peril to make a story interesting. Let's see. My son woke me up, which was a beautiful surprise. He tapped me on the head and he goes, "It's Mando time, Daddy." And I was like, wow, I haven't heard this voice in the morning in such a long time. So that was a beautiful thing that happened this morning. And we were also I was giggling with my son. Are the stormtroopers, is their armor made out of like sugar glass that they use for breakaway bottles in movies? Because like, man, you can hit them anywhere and they're done. Is that a spoiler? No, that's been in everything.
I don't think so. Yeah.
It's been in everything.
Yeah. Ryan, what's your thoughts on this one? What was your feeling watching this?
I'm really, like Sabrina was saying, I'm really curious how people, if they like this week more than last week. Because for me, last week, I was like, that's the pinnacle of this season. And there's stuff that I thought was going to happen at the end of the season that we got this episode. And that was what was so surprising for me. I think this episode also solidified, does not matter what the runtime is. So much can happen. I think the most that's ever happened in one episode happened here. Like 5 minutes, and we were already all over the place with so many new reveals. And oh my goodness. And again, Robert Rodriguez, other than Jon Favreau, he's probably the most, I think, like experienced big movie director to get one of these episodes, and he knocked it out of the park. I mean, this might be the most well-directed episode of The Mandalorian.
Yeah, Alex, what did you think about this one? What's your overall feelings on this one?
I didn't think. Well, okay, since we're calling them Homeboy and Homegirl, may as well just call them Shark Boy and Lava Girl, because it's also Robert Rodriguez.
Good point.
I didn't think I cared about Shark Boy as much as I did. Like, I didn't think he was like that cool. That like, based on previous what I've seen of Shark Boy before. But now I'm like super into Shark Boy, and like there's a line, one of my favorite lines was like, "This isn't a spice dream." Like that's a funny line.
Yeah.
And just everybody's just like wrecking shop in this episode, and I just freaking loved it. Shark
it's
Boy
more like
Lava Girl for the win.
Isn't it more like Shark Daddy and Lava Mama? It feels more like that, doesn't it? Doesn't it feel more like
That's
Shark
true.
Daddy,
Yeah.
Lava Mama. But I get
Shark
your point.
Daddy.
Absolutely.
Zaddy. Yeah.
Oh, he was a daddy. Is that what's okay? Alex, you're plugged into the kids. You tell me what zaddy means.
Phrasing.
It's been fun. Cue the music. I'm out of here. Much love. No, but what is zaddy? What does this mean? Because a friend of mine used it. My friend who's in his 40s trying to be cool used zaddy on the text exchange this morning about the show, and I don't know what zaddy is. I know it's a song. And I looked it up on the Urban Dictionary, but what does it actually apply to?
From what I understand, it's just like a hot dad, I believe.
Okay. Sabrina, can you speculate?
Extra. Yeah, it's that little extra something. It's not just like a daddy, it's like a zaddy.
Right.
It's something that I would think about like Oscar Isaac or Antonio Banderas in Spy Kids.
Okay.
Or Daddy.
Man.
Right, definitely Sheridan.
Even Brett.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And Brett.
What's simping? That's another one.
Oh, simping. Ugh. That's the whole nother spectrum. Simping.
Yeah.
Is George Clooney a zaddy, or is he too old to be a zaddy?
I feel like he's a zaddy, but I feel like you have to have an extra like oomph and spice to it, you know?
Gotcha.
Like that's why I think like Antonio Banderas, Oscar Isaac, and Brett.
Right. If Idris Elba had kids, would he be a zaddy?
Oh yeah. You don't even
Right?
have to have kids to be a zaddy.
Oh, really? Oh, okay.
Just an elder man.
Oh, so I can
All
be.
right.
Yeah.
I'm learning.
Grand
No,
zaddies.
no, I'm not.
Oh, we're all zaddies here.
Oh, no. I'm
Happy
too-
Friday.
I got the COVID-19. I can't be no zaddy. But what did you all think about the show? Let us know. Send in your Streamlabs super chat, Schmobots. I guess I should promote that now. Ladies and gentlemen, we need you to help us stay employed here every day. So, if you want us coming back and doing all this, having this fun repartee and have fun ball busting and jokes and all that kind of jazz, please send in your Streamlabs super chat. Schmobots say it's the end of the week. So let's go off into the weekend in a positive way. Get us over $500 today. Send in your stuff. If 5 of you send $100 a piece, we're good to go. The rest of the show is gravy. So just letting you know. So just send in your stuff. Ask us any questions. Let us know your thoughts about all of this. The thing I did like is that before the Mandalorian, people were complaining about the Ahsoka stuff. People complaining about like Ben Goddard, who's going to be on, I think, in a little bit. He's been complaining about, he feels like they're moving away from what made the Mandalorian great. And I feel like even though we got some great reveals in this episode, we still stayed ground-based, right? We still stayed kind of in the world of the Mandalorian. It's very much shoot 'em up stuff, hiding behind boulders, all that kind of stuff. The environment, all of that is in play rather than being out in the galaxy. So I liked that. Did you guys enjoy coming back to kind of that aspect of the show again?
Loved it. Loved it. I again, this past week, I probably talked Star Wars more this past week, the most since Last Jedi. I was just over the moon talking about it with everyone, just loving to hear everyone's theories, plans, and this episode I think continue that. I just think the argument that Dave Filoni, Jon Favreau, they should just be running all this. Really, each and every week, it's just so satisfying. I feel like it's in such great hands. But I don't know. I'm really curious to hear, like Sabrina, do you think it's going off tangent from the Mandalorian story? Do you think there's too many outside characters that might be more interesting, or what do you think?
No, I don't think so. I actually think it's kind of staying refreshing. We're getting some new stuff. We're getting some new nods. Everybody can find a little bit to enjoy in this. And that's what I really like about it. You don't have to be completely plugged into all of the canon and the entire galaxy, everything that's happening, to be introduced to a character for the first time and appreciate them right away. And I like that they're making it accessible to people who aren't maybe like huge Star Wars fans.
Yeah. Brett?
I was just one question about the episode, not really a spoiler, but kind of. But if you try something 2, maybe 3, 4 times, should you try it a 5th time? That's just if you know what I mean. That's just all I got for you. Maybe you can't do that. Mando?
Got it.
That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
Well, some people are stubborn, Brett, in life. They keep trying to do the same thing over and over
it burns
again.
my hand. It burns my hand.
And each time it's worse. Each time it's like,
He did it for a reason, because he's a zaddy.
Zaddy.
Zaddy-lorian.
Zadalorian. Streamlab in your favorite Zaddy.
I love that. Alex, what, do you like that they kind of went back to a little bit more of the ground-based approach to the show?
Oh yeah, like especially with the action too. It's like super freaking cool. And they're still like they're kind of taking the piss out of like the seriousness of all the canon junkies in a way.
Mm-hmm.
They're just like, okay, like we're still gonna have fun in this universe.
Yeah.
And like that's something I think the Mandalorian did really well in his first season as well. So
yeah. Yeah, agreed. So, all right, there you go. That's our overall thoughts on that episode. Ignore what I said at the beginning of the show. So go and enjoy it freshly.
We might have
and
a special guest here, John. Real quick.
Shit. Is it the boss coming in to let me go on this one? Who is it?
I don't think so. I think we got like a. I'm just gonna let him in.
Okay.
Hey!
Christmas, Mikey Christmas.
Christian told me Mikey Christmas need to pop in here.
Couldn't be happier. How are you, brother?
Zaddy.
I'm early, buddy. I'm early. I'm up and I'm early and it's whatnot. And I got to get up early for these Mandalorian review shows. So it gets me up early. It's too early for me, guys. I usually don't get up. But I'm up and I'm awake.
That's right. If you want to watch a full-on spoiler review of The Mandalorian, Christian Harloff and Mike Kalinowski, that is out. You can watch it after you're done watching and hanging out with us here at SEN.
$200 donated.
Yeah, there we go.
$20.
See what happens? I'm making it snow. I'm making it snow for you guys.
The only relationship in canon shows and movies that hasn't ended in tragedy is Frog Lady and Frog Man. Also, Doug, last night's episode just felt a lack of budget. Solid 8/10.
Did you guys feel lack of budget?
No, I don't think it's a lack of budget. I think it was purposefully done in a certain way to be more ground-based. And so you're not going to spend a lot of time on CGI and all that extra stuff. It was ground-based. Mike, this is non-spoiler stuff we're discussing here, Mike, so we don't want to break anything. But, what'd you think of what this person is saying?
I was talking about that a little bit. I actually loved it because when I was watching it, it made me feel like, and some people had said that it felt like a fan film. Like it was out in the hills of Burbank. And I love that feel because of some of the Star Wars fan films. A friend of the SEN, Jamie Costa, is that great Obi-Wan. Some of those fans make these phenomenal films. And I love that they were on location. I love that. They weren't doing was it called stagecraft? That set that they do, which makes it look phenomenal. But I love that they were out on location. It just felt kind of old school about Star Wars. And I love that. So I was a fan of the look of it.
Yeah, man. Good point. Yeah. Was there anything non-spoiler wise that surprised you last night?
Oh, non-spoiler.
Or that you could allude to.
So now, what did you guys feel? Because what did you guys feel about the recap? Because apparently that did for Christian spoiled a lot.
Yeah.
And I went to skip recap, but it played a little bit, so I saw Cara Dune in there, and I was like, oh, we're gonna spend the whole episode with her. Okay. I didn't see apparently a couple things in the recap that Christian says like, oh, that's spoiler. I knew that was going to happen. So I didn't see anything. So everything that popped up that was spoiler caught me off guard.
Okay.
The recap
when he does this little scan of when he's on the Brock and he looks and he sees something coming in, I was like, oh, there we go. Here we go. But yeah, I'm trying. I don't want to spoil anything. I can't.
Yeah. I'll say one thing. The decision to destroy a certain thing.
Yes.
Shocked me just shocked me because normally they don't do that. Normally they do in the Star Wars universe. They do not do that. So I was surprised by that decision overall, and I don't want to spoil it, but
that was a big one.
Yeah, I was like, what? So
I didn't envy you. Christian and I were talking, and I was like, man, I do not envy those guys. Night after us having to do a non-spoiler review of this episode, it seemed like every couple seconds there was something huge happening. I certainly didn't think we were going to get this much. I kind of felt this was gonna be a filler episode before the final two, but not that at all. Holy
right.
This was my favorite episode of season 2 so far.
What?
Yes.
Show of hands, maybe real quick. Who else?
Okay.
Really?
Definitely.
Up until this, it was Cobb Vanth.
Wow.
Cobb Vanth's episode was my favorite.
You didn't like last week?
I loved it. But not my favorite.
You liked it, but not okay.
No. Jeez. And I think it had to do with Robert Rodriguez and the directing. I just think there was just. Yeah, man.
Yeah, we just talked about that. Did you like his approach to it and the way he was using the camera? Because there was a lot of there was helicopter shots, there were crane shots, there were shots from below, there were shots like Steadicam following. Like there was a lot of combination of his directing techniques throughout.
Yeah, so many directors that they get with these are new, I would say, to action per se. Like I didn't about like Bryce Dallas Howard directing action and stuff. And a lot of times with things like this, they have the stunt teams they're like, we'll handle the action.
Right.
The Marvel films are known for doing that. And you kind of got that sense in some of those. And that's why some of the ones I know a lot of people rank them higher than I would, where I'm like, there was just something off and I couldn't place what it was. But this episode, seeing, like you mentioned, John, the camera just constantly moving. Yeah. That one shot, they had the heavy repeater blaster. I don't want to say what. And the person's running across the rocks. And
Yeah.
it just as like that shot, I was like, that's cinematic to me. That was like, that got me. So that's why this episode, it was Rodriguez, man. He just nailed it.
Well, Sheridan, Kalinowski, and I are old enough to remember 70s serial television, and a lot of what was happening throughout season 2 felt very reminiscent to like 70s or 80s serial TV series. And I think a lot of I think this is the most authentically reminiscent of those type of shows from the 70s and 80s, like Incredible Hulk and Bionic Man and all those things. Like this felt very similar. And when she's running across, or the person is running across the top of that ridge and the blaster's going up, I'm like, I'm back in I'm a 6-year-old kid again watching this stuff. So did you guys feel that way too as you're watching some of the scenes? Brett and Mike?
100%. And I love the fact that my daughter was like, just like, I don't want to wait another week. And I'm like, yes, this is what you need right now. You children, when you get everything when you want it right away, you have to wait a week. Isn't this so wonderful? That's what I've loved about this show, is that it makes them go back to this like anticipation of it. And that's why my son woke me up in the morning to say, it's go time, Daddy. So like, I'm loving it.
Mike?
Yeah, I was talking, and my kind of big thing is like, and it's no surprise, I don't shy away from the fact that I kind of fell off my Star Wars bantha a little while ago. I think it was like right after Rogue One. We talked, John, on Geek Buddies the other day. Like after Rogue One, I loved it, but then what came after that, I was kind of like, this is going back to prequel stuff for me, and I'm not on board. And now I've missed out on Clone Wars. I missed out on Rebels. So now all the stuff that everyone's finding, I'm going back in like Cobb Vanth. I'm going back and reading the novels that he was in. So this to me, and like Christian, when I met him back in '99 in Florida State, he met me dressing up as Obi-Wan Kenobi to go see Phantom Menace 4 times in a row at a midnight screening. Like this is, I'm here thinking like, I got to start making some Mandalorian armor. And it's got the creativity going in me like I was a kid again. Yeah. This series has really kind of reignited that kid in me and that creativity and discovery, which that's all I can ask for.
Yeah, Sabrina and Alex, as two of the kids who get everything you want whenever you want it now, it's just a weird thing to be in these moments where we have to wait week to week. Because, by the way, and this is behind-the-scenes stuff, they have made none of these episodes available even to reviewers ahead of time in our business. Yeah, I've shaken that tree at Disney, and a number of people I know have shaken that tree at Disney trying to get episodes ahead of time. Last year they did it. This year they said, no, everyone's getting it at the same time. So are you guys enjoying the fact that you can't binge this thing? Do you like the anticipation of week to week, Alex and Sabrina?
I typically binge watch shows. Like I'll watch it all overnight, stay up. But I like it with this one because it really builds up that anticipation for like the next week. And I'm sitting on it and I'm thinking about what I just saw rather than immediately going to the next one. And I think that's important with a show like this. Also, this is probably the only episode that I'm on the same page as Brett's daughter, where I just want to watch the next one already. The only one is this one. But other than that, I am loving the week to week.
Okay. Alex?
I mean, I grew up watching like 24 with my parents, and so like seeing that, like I had to wait a week every week for that show as well, and that was an amazing experience. And like I'm used to that, Game of Thrones, obviously, and lately my strategy has just been waiting for like the second to last episode of a season to air, and then binging them all that week before the final episode of the season. But like with this, like obviously I'm on the show, and so I have to watch it, and like I don't mind this anticipation. Like it's bringing me back to my childhood days of like, oh, yes, I can't wait for the next one. So
nice.
I'm super happy with it.
Ryan, you're old enough to remember both sides of this thing. So what's your feeling on this? What's your feeling?
Yeah, I this is just phenomenal. You mentioned Game of Thrones, Alex.
Yeah.
This was already on par, I think, with Game of Thrones when it came to a production level. But I think when it comes to lore, on-screen lore, I think Star Wars has always had the lore, but now just your average viewer who's not reading the comics or books, they're now trying to familiarize themselves with the lore. I think we're at that level. And another thing similar to Game of Thrones, you never knew who was going to die in what scene at any moment. I don't think we're at that stage with this show, but I think anything can happen in any scene. Again, the runtime doesn't matter. You can go to a planet in 5 minutes and then another planet the other 5 minutes. So much can happen. There's no rules almost. And it's just so exciting.
Yeah, I mean, if you're going to do a second season, you got to expand the world. All of us who are seasoned watchers of TV shows and movies, we know if you go to a second thing, you got to expand the world. And if you don't, you're not going to keep an audience or keep growing the audience to keep coming back and watch it over and over again and inspire new people to get involved and jump into your thing. So, well, let us know what you thought of the episode.
James Lavario donated $20.
James, yes, go ahead.
My
Thank you,
Star
James.
Wars passion ignited with the first episode of Season 2. Cobb Vanth was so cool to see in live action. It got me reading Star Wars books again. I have been reading A New Hope from a certain point of view. It's awesome. More canon connection.
Yeah.
Nice.
I like it.
Yeah, I agree with him. Like, I had no idea who Cobb Vanth was before this. And Christian was like, "What? You don't read the books? What you don't get?" He's getting all upset. I was like, "Yeah, I didn't read the books." But I went and ordered them, and I was like, "I love that character." It had to do with Timothy Olyphant.
Soulshire 1999 donated $20.
Thank you,
Double
Soulshire.
Zaddy alert. Oscar Isaac is playing Solid Snake for Sony in a Metal Gear Solid movie. The greatest video game is finally getting the celluloid treatment. Shout out to Tanzia for the Streamlab earlier with the news. Snarky.
Snake.
Who's playing Solid Snake?
Oscar
Who did
Isaac.
they say?
Oscar Isaac.
Isaac.
Ooh, okay.
There you go.
Okay.
You like that, Mike?
I love Metal Gear. I'm old school in that. Everyone's always like, "What's your favorite PS2 game?" Because something came up on Twitter. I was like, "It's Metal Gear Solid, man." Playing that, and God, Sabrina and Alex, I don't think you guys were born back then when I was in college, but okay, it's all right. I'm feeling old around you guys. It's all right.
Mother
That's
effer.
what I love about culture and geek culture. It brings all different age generations together, and I love it. I love
When we were in college. People
That's
forget
right, buddy.
Kalinowski and I were in college at the
I
same
know
time.
people give
At
you
the
crap
same
for being
college.
so old. We were like a year or two apart. I'm right there with you, buddy.
That's
I
right.
am
We were
right
all at the
there.
same college together. But
Yes,
yeah,
sir.
listen, if you're gonna, this is the new one that came out, the Empire Strikes Back one.
Look
Del
at
Rey's-
Brett and I. Brett and I are like, "Huh? What is that?" I need glasses, man.
Thanks to my connection with Laura Kelly. Laura Kelly was very nice to introduce me to people over at Del Rey, and they are now sending me the books to read and review and talk about. So I'm excited. I'm excited to jump into this one on Sunday and kind of after I watch the Selena series, jump into this thing and read it and just explore it. So if you haven't read these certain point of views books, from what I'm understanding of the reviews I read before, they're fantastic, and it's a way to get back into Star Wars and reignite your love as well. We're just over $100 so far. So people, please get us to the 500 mark. We're going to need 400 more bucks to roll in, and no more joke titles either. This guy donates $200 is actually donating 20. So cut that out. We need that shit to be alive. Let me go to your place of work and joke with you about your job. How you like that?
I have a burning question now for Mike.
Please.
I know you barely know me. We've met once, and you got about 28 more away from 366. What are the chances of me making it on an admiration?
Joey who donated $20. I agree with Mike. This is my favorite episode so far. This episode brought my favorite character to life, and this character was badass. This is the way. Hashtag smash cancer.
Yes.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed.
Yes.
So well put.
Brett, I'm telling you, I don't know, buddy. I got
Better luck next year.
The list is long, my friend. The list is long and distinguished, but you, sir, have shot up there to the top of that. I'm looking to probably lose a lot of friends though come January 1st. People are like, I don't remember. Give me that shout out on that show on that thing you were doing, Mike. I thought we had something, you and I. I'm like, give me a break.
I saw an old Acme buddy of mine, Chris McKenzie. That was a blast from the past.
I tell you, I put those up, and some people are like, how do you know this person? It is a small ass world. It's insane to me. I love it.
Yeah. As I was saying, all right, well, let us know what you think about the episode in the comment section below. Like and subscribe in case they clip this out. Like and subscribe to the SEN network and everything we're doing here. All the great shows that are here. Let us know. Are we off base? Are we great? Did you enjoy the reveals? Blah blah blah. Keep them non-spoiler, I think, on this one, and save your spoiler comments for the review with Kalinowski and the boss there, Christian Harloff. So, Kalinowski, can you stick around or do you got to go?
Well, I got to get you up to 500 then, I guess.
All right, that's my brother. He's sticking around, ladies and
stick
gentlemen.
around if I can. Yeah. My dogs, they might have to take care of them, but I got you. We got 5, 6 people here. 5 people.
I love it. I love it.
What are we going to talk about next?
Well, we're gonna take a quick moment to think about, like, how do you calm down and when you're waiting for for a whole week for a new episode. Brett, how do you calm that anxiety down, those worries, the trepidation, the desire? How do you calm all that stuff down?
Well, you need to discover the Headspace app. It's a daily dose of mindfulness in the form of guided meditations and an easy-use app. Headspace is the only meditation app advancing the field of mindfulness and meditation through clinically validated research. So, whatever the situation, Headspace really can help you feel better. All right, you feeling overwhelmed a little bit? Everybody's feeling overwhelmed. Headspace has a 3-minute SOS meditation just for you. Need help falling asleep? Who doesn't? Headspace has a wind-down session their members swear by, and for parents, Headspace even has morning meditations you can do with the kids. It's amazing. You got to calm these kids down. They've got too much stimulation. They need to chill out. Headspace's approach to mindfulness can reduce stress, improve sleep, boost focus, and improve your overall sense of being. I'm going to say it again. It's become a word in this house for when Daddy needs to chill. Hey, Daddy, why don't you go get your Headspace? And like I said to my son the other day, too, why don't you go get a job? But then I realized, yes, I needed my Headspace. Headspace is backed by 25 published studies on its benefits, 600,000 5-star reviews, and over 60 million downloads. Headspace makes it easy for you to build a life-changing meditation practice with mindfulness that works for you on your schedule, anytime, anywhere. Well, where do we need to go, Brett, to be happy? Well, I'm going to tell you right now. Go to headspace.com/SENlive. That's headspace.com/SENlive for a free 1-month trial with access to Headspace's full library of meditations for every situation. Did you hear when I said it before? Because I think you need to hear it again. You head to headspace.com/SENlive today and go get your meditation on. Mic drop.
Fantastic.
It does need that. It does need the more you know.
Fantastic. Am I oh, there he is.
Man.
Hey, everybody.
Zaddy.
Ben
Speaking
Goddard,
of zaddies.
welcome.
Yeah, the zaddy in the house.
Zaddy's in the house.
What's up, fool? I love the stages of beard growth on the screen right now. It's the
Yeah,
best. I love
exactly.
it. Even Alex is trying. I respect it.
Are you trimming the sides, Ben, or is that the unfortunate youthful doesn't grow on the sides? You're trimming it. Okay,
yes,
okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
Nice,
good.
Nice.
Yes.
I had that for the longest time. I could not for the life of me. It just came in Bob Marley patches, and it was, it was tough. But
no, like it does come like down here, but like it's nothing you want to see. So I'm definitely like shaving all of this and just leaving the front.
leaving the goat.
Yeah.
We're just about to move on. Ben, do you want to give your quick thoughts, non-spoiler thoughts on Mandalorian, or should we just move on?
I liked it. I love where the story went.
Okay.
Great character stuff. Did it look cheap to anybody else?
Well, some people have mentioned that, but I think that was on purpose because I think they were trying to kind of keep it ground based,
Okay.
But Michael Kalinowski pointed out that he liked the fact that it looked like it was shot in the hills of Burbank.
Yeah, Ben,
It did. Go ahead, Mike.
Go ahead, Ben. No, go ahead.
Just like it looked like, especially Robert Rodriguez, who knows how to shoot action. Like it just looked, I don't know, like the lighting, it just looked like a fan film, honestly. Just the action where, they're just kind of running through the hills. Which like, it just felt like with how great all the production has been, it felt like a little bit of a step down, but everything else, like the action itself was great. Everyone that was involved. And then the story was obviously awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I was saying how
Harold
I
donated
love.
$20. Hi, Mike.
Take it away.
Hello.
Yeah, that's what it is right there.
That's how it's done.
There you go.
Yeah, but I was saying, I actually love that feel of it because for me, for so long with Star Wars, we didn't have before even like the prequels came out and that whole kind of dead space in Star Wars. Fan films were the thing, and there were so many good ones back in the day. I remember there was like I know Troops was one of them. That kind of famous
That
mockumentary
Darth
on
Maul one
cops.
was always good.
But Darth Maul, Jimmy Costa does one of those, are newer ones. But even the older ones, it just like, and I love the stagecraft technology they use. I can't ever tell when it's a set or not. It blows my mind. But I always prefer location shooting. So to know that they were on location, this just had this old school Star Wars feel. I feel like they were out in the desert of Tunisia, just trying to get shots when they could because of the location and the weather. This gave me that old school Lucas and a ragtag crew just trying to, okay, we're here. This looks good. We can get this here. I don't know if we can get the crane in to get this shot, but let's make it work. It just had like, they're on at the studio with the stagecraft. They can get anything they need, any shot they want. Put the camera here, put the camera there. This had that filmmakers in the rough, and I did love that. So, but I do get your feeling of what it felt like.
I think that's why. I think you make a good point though, Mike. I think it's because they've been using that stagecraft thing, so they can build like these intricate sets, like just with the LED screens. And this, maybe that was Robert Rodriguez's thing. Like, hey, I'm gonna go film on location. You guys can have the stage. I'm gonna go film on location, and maybe that's why it looks so different. That's a good point, Mike.
Yeah.
I think also if you're rocking a 2007 LCD, you really can't tell the difference. Because everything has a few pixels burned out and a little line at the top, so it really doesn't take you out of it. But yeah, I couldn't tell any difference at all. Maybe I won't go 4K.
Dude, everyone's got a 4K. Everyone's like, I'm doing my Lord of the Rings rewatch in 4K. I'm like, all right, we get it. You have 4K players. I just bought my Blu-rays.
I had the PS5, but our TV was not. And so Shannon Barney was like, it was Black Friday. We're out at the malls.
Oh, Shannon Barney. I was so confused on what
she was like, we really could go with a bigger TV. I was like, no, we don't. The thing's 55 inches. It's fine. We got a one bedroom apartment in Burbank. And she's like, nah. And then we're at Best Buy and you talk to the salesman. And she goes to me, she's like, but babe, just imagine how good your PS5 games would look on this 4K thing. And that was it. She knows. She knows. I'm like, and I'm like this. All right, get the TV. Let's go. I have no job right now, but fine, get the TV.
Are crazy though, Mike.
Like, I know. That's the thing.
TVs that were $3,000 last year are $700. It's crazy.
She's the breadwinner right now with Universal closed down. I'm not working. She's the breadwinner, so I'm like, fine, let's get it. Okay.
Yep. All I heard was that you have a 55-inch that you don't need anymore in that. Or just put it in another room. I don't know.
Yeah, because they even like I love those LG OLEDs, and they've dropped the price on those C9s and 77 inchers to wait. And I was like 77 incher for less than 2,000. In my mind, I'm just like rolling over.
Sound like Quint. Oh, it's a 77 incher.
75.
Not to mention it, but I think you might get into it later. But now having that TV with what's happening next year.
Yeah. So let's make that jump, Alex.
Look at that segue.
Next story. Good job.
Mikey Christmas dropping segues.
Yeah, so we talked about it yesterday, obviously, as it broke. But so me, Ryan, and Brett have already kind of given our thoughts on it. But Mike, Sabrina, Rocha, Ben, who would like to take this first on your thoughts about HBO?
Lead us into this, Sabrina.
Ladies first.
Yeah, I understand what they're going for, and I really think this is a great choice for 2021. I think with the trajectory of the way everything's going, we have a super stacked year. You can't just keep pushing everything back. We're waiting on new releases. Like Mike said, that I was about to say, yeah, everyone's upgrading their home television. Like everybody has sound bars and 4K TVs. It's just insane. I don't personally have that. So I'm going to be watching Dune in the corner of my apartment with my laptop. Just how Villeneuve attended it. Yeah.
I'm going to be watching Dune on Quibi.
Exactly. In very, very small increments. It's going to take me a few months to finish, so we can't talk about it non-spoiler. Don't spoil it, Rocha. But yeah, I really think it's a great choice. For now, I just hope it's not implemented into like 2022, 2023. I don't want that to become the standard because I really do miss the theater experience and I want that to be preserved.
Yeah, fair. Kalinowski, what do you think about this?
I got thoughts, buddy.
Yeah, bring it.
Thoughts. It's interesting because I was a very much when Wonder Woman 84 was announced, I was against this. I did not like this at all. Most of the point, like I remember, Ryan, I don't know if you were in the DC chat with Roxy.
Yeah, I was.
Where I said, you were. It's like, I'm not going to see it. I'm not going to watch it at home.
You were very firm on that.
I was very much like, and you guys know me in DC. It's like, I'm not watching this movie at home. No, that's a slap in the face to Patty Jenkins' gal and everyone in that movie, what they did and how long it's been pushed and this and that to now just drop it on. But then other points on Twitter came in. It's like, in the world we're not where you guys are in America. We're open. We're free, we need this. And I saw that. I'm like, yeah, I get it. I was being selfish. Then to see them drop this yesterday, it didn't catch me off his guard as much because it was weird because the day before they were talking about Mortal Kombat. And that was one of the films I was really looking forward to. And they said, no, we were thinking about streaming it. We're not. It's going theatrically. That was the day before this dropped. Yeah. Then this drops. And I'm like, wow. And then the head of HBO had said, okay, we're this year, we've got to look at it. We've got to keep theaters open. So we got to give them something. But people that can't go to theaters, we got to give them something. And I think it was Boris. Is his name Boris Kitsitz? He's a Hollywood
Boris
reporter.
Kitt. Yeah,
Boris Kitt. He made he made a great point. He's like, they're saying this, but this is their testing the waters to see.
Of course.
I was like, if you just look at it for a year and I could take you for your word saying that we're doing this for the year, we've got to get our content out, like Sabrina said, because they're backlogging movies now.
Yeah.
You got to get it out there. You got to give people at home something. But to know what could happen, I'm a theater movie experience, and I was getting into it with Patrick Campbell a little bit last night. Nothing will take this away. And they were saying, like Bibiani, they were going like, well, what about young kids? They saw Raiders of the Lost Ark for the first time on VHS.
$20. With yesterday's news, my brother decided it was time to replace our 10-year dead projector for our 80-inch pull-down screen, which will arrive in time for Wonder Woman 84.
There you go.
There you go.
Like Sabrina said, people making changes.
Yeah, they were saying like, oh, but you saw this film on VHS because you weren't alive. And it's like, I get that. But there's something about a theater experience. And if I could for a second here, I saw Temple of Doom in the theater for the first time. So, and that was
Ryan,
the movie after I saw
music for this. Ryan, find some good music.
Oh, gosh. I'll let you build up here. Oh, no. Here we go. Okay, so I saw Temple of Doom 84. 84? Yeah, 84. Yeah, 84 in the theater. And when I came out of that movie theater, that was the movie that made me want to be an actor. I'll never forget. I know the theater I was at, the mall I was at to see that, who was within the theater seeing it, the experience it made. I saw Raiders on VHS. I couldn't tell you where I was when I saw it the first time I saw it. Is Raiders a better film? Absolutely. Do I love it better than Temple of Doom? But nothing beats that experience. There's something about sitting in the cinema. Like, you can't tell me seeing Endgame for the first time in the theater. You would have got the same experience seeing it on your TV.
Yeah.
There's just something about it. So I hope this is not the death knell for studios. I really hope not, but I don't know.
I don't think it is the death knell for studios. I think what in my opinion, because for
theaters, I'm sorry, for theaters.
Yeah, theaters, right. Going back, I mean, like a few weeks ago, I said, don't be surprised if we see these titles. Now, nobody could have predicted an entire slate. I thought, one or two or four or five, but an entire slate is a hell of a thing. And I think Boris Kidd is absolutely right. This is them testing the waters. This is them figuring out how people are going to react. And this is a new world now. And you're crazy if you think we're going back to the regular way things used to be. Yeah. People are not going to trust going into theaters anymore. You've seen so many protests against the vaccination. Hell, Letitia Wright got absolutely destroyed simply because, listen, I want to say this, simply because she was legitimately questioning.
Mike Primus donated $100.
Hey!
Let's get that goal.
Thank you.
Happy Friday, y'all. Glad to see Mike. Loved this week's episode of Mando. So many feels. Sad there are only 2 left. I am ready for the weekend party in the Fart Tower. It's been a week, need to get me some Headspace going. Hi, Brett.
Hello.
See, that's wow. Nice. That's a lot. That's a lot for $100. See, you can do it just like Robert Rodriguez in 30 minutes. But I mean, there's some of these things like where we're going and all of this. It just feels to me like we're not going back. And Letitia Wright, like, listen, let me tell you something. In the African American community, in the Black community, questioning vaccination, questioning the government doing certain things, that's not an invalid thing. Her point was we have to ask questions and have a conversation. Did she handle it correctly? Probably not. And certainly Twitter exploded about it. But that doesn't mean she didn't have a right to question that. And I think a lot of people question the government and vaccines.
Hey Ben, I dreamt we met and I offered to tie your shoes, but I've only strapped my own shoes for years, so I forgot how to tie. I ended up getting sick on your laces. I woke up before I seen your reaction, but here's hoping your laces are really that long.
Wow.
Yikes.
What did I miss? What did I miss?
It's a euphemism, Mike, for
his
oral, basically. Tying your shoes, getting your shoes.
Oh, I get it. When I was young, my age, we called it doing the alphabet. That's my age. We used to call it doing the alphabet.
Okay. We did the alphabet.
Back in the day, we did the alphabet. You kids with your shoelaces, we did the alphabet. Just think about that. 26 different variations, kids. 26 of them.
More tea.
Shannon's going to be dropping in during a Streamlabs. I dropped the gavel. I concur.
But anyway, I just don't think we're going back to any kind of regular normal before. I think what happens now is theaters become becoming a very exclusive experience where now it's only a certain number of theaters, and they'll have those big leather seats, and they'll have space, and you can recline, and you can do all of that, and it'll be $50 a ticket to go see a movie.
Get the hell out of here!
I'm telling you, it's coming. The IMAX screen will be there, the highest graphics, the highest visuals, the perfect. They might even give you headphones. Like they'll do the whole 9, and you'll pay that extra for the experience, because Avengers Endgame, like you said, Mike, you make a great point. You don't want to see that at home. So if you're going to go to a theater, you'll pay the $50 for the communal experience of seeing that, because there's less movies that go into theaters, less theaters, so it becomes more exclusive. That's what I think is coming down the road. Ben, what are your thoughts on this?
It's tough to say on all of it, but the thing is that what's HBO saying they're going to do this for 2021, or Warner Brothers. Sorry, it's called HBOmax. Right. Warner Brothers said they're going to do this for 2021. Let's say everything goes perfect. Let's say everyone is vaccinated. The coronavirus is gone. January 1st, 2022. We are good to go. Like everything's open, Disneyland, everything, all that stuff. So you're still going to pay the same price for HBO Max without getting theater movies?
Right.
No, they won't.
Point.
If you give someone a mile in 2021 and then cut it back to an inch in 2022, everyone's going to drop the service.
Yeah.
Or they're going to be like, wait, I'm still paying $15 a month for this. I'm not getting Suicide Squad 2. I'm not getting Wonder Woman 3. I'm not getting Aquaman 2 in 2022. Are they still going to pay for that?
Ben, I'm not getting the Batman in 2022.
Yeah, I'm not getting the Batman on HBO Max directly.
I ain't watching that on my home screen. You out of your damn mind? The hell out of here. And did you guys notice? I mean, I know it was COVID related, but Batman 2020 was originally 2021 and jumped to 2022.
Yeah.
I think there was some behind the scenes happening with that.
Listen, what's his face? Emmerich over there said they had been speaking with epidemiologists for months before making this decision. So they've been planning this for quite some time.
But to think about, Ben, to what you're saying, think about how much money Warner Brothers is leaving on the table. I mean, there was no way Wonder Woman, let's say we're in a perfect world, we're open, everything's fine, there was no coronavirus. Wonder Woman, no way it doesn't make $1 billion. And I know the other side is we finally get away from this. A film has to make $1 billion to be a success. Maybe we get away from that. But how much money over the course of years Warner Brothers leaving on the table with all these films?
Queef Sutherland donated $20. I really hate this for the movie business. Like what Mike said, you can't replace a communal experience of seeing a movie with an audience. Feel like all these movies were made for a huge screen and feel bad for the crews working on these films.
Yeah.
Well, even things like, even when it comes, like obviously like Endgame and stuff like that, where everyone's cheering when Cap gets the hammer. But like, even I remember I watched Won't You Be My Neighbor, and all of us, like, there was like 15 people in the audience, and all of us like stayed through the credits because we were all sobbing.
Yeah.
So it's still like, even if it's a smaller movie, you still have that theater experience. But go ahead, Sabrina.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing, is that this list of films that they had, there's a ton of major releases. Another great thing that you said, Mike, we have Space Jam. A lot of kids aren't going to be able to experience Space Jam in a theater. And this is something that really can shape your entire childhood. The first one came out before I was born, but my older cousin talked about this movie so much. And a lot of people are missing out on that. So the thing is, like, going forward, this is going to drive up, obviously, their subscribers, but the way to kind of maybe sustain that would be in the future to have a few major releases, because $15 compared to even a movie ticket, that's not even one in Los Angeles.
Yeah.
Like $15 isn't a lot unless they like raise up that price and do something crazy. I think they can kind of sustain a lot of their subscribers that they're going to get from this if they keep some major releases. Like even Netflix, we saw it with Old Guard. We saw it with like Lovebirds. They had films that would have done really, really great in the theater, and they showed them on streaming. It's unfortunate, and I would rather see it in a theater, but that's a way that they could
Old
keep
Guard
it.
would have done good in the theater?
Well, I think I would have liked the experience better in a theater is what I was saying.
To what you're saying, like there was a period, and us older guys on this panel probably get this, like back in the 90s, you know, a movie like Extraction on Netflix.
Yeah.
That was a solid release in the theater. And, you know, it was a $20-30 million film. It was these action films. We don't get those mid-range films anymore that now Netflix and maybe HBO, Sabrina, to your point, they need to do. For a while with HBO, I was like, for $15, I'm like, that's a lot. I'm only getting this, and this compared to Netflix for 8 or 9. But now it's like, oh, now it's worth it. But you make a great point when you said, like, you know, the theater owners, their margins were so small, and that's why concessions are $50 for a bucket of popcorn. But you take a family of 4 on a Friday night, that's over $100 without concessions. And they're going to pop down to their $15.99 to see all these same movies. I mean, theater owners, they're upset right now, but they're part of the problem. And it's crazy. It's unreal this time we're in right now with what we're dealing with.
And that's what you're saying. Warner Brothers talked about this, and Brett, we got to get your thoughts on this. Like Warner Brothers and Alex and Ryan, but Warner Brothers talked about this and said that they are negotiating more favorable deals for the theaters with these films because they're dropping them day and date. And by the way, they're only going to be dropped for 31 days on streaming, and then they go off of streaming and follow the normal window of coming out on VHS or on Blu-ray, DVD, whatever. But yeah, VHS, Jesus Christ.
I missed it, honestly.
No, trust me. There's no editor better than my own head. Trust me, Ben. But like this,
we're playing Jacks by the Soda Fountain. VHS.
You know what, kids? Anyway. This
I don't know. I just want to go outside and play some Pogs, guys. Like, God, jeez.
Anyway, all of this, you see it happening, and I don't know. I lost my train of thought. What was I saying? I lost.
What are we talking about?
What are we doing?
Anyway.
I don't know. I got the brand new Miley Cyrus cassette tape, and it's really good.
Oh man, yeah. The best.
I can't even say vinyl because vinyls are actually still a thing.
Yeah,
cassette tapes are too.
What?
Yes. People are paying high money at like Urban Outfitters, things like that for cassette tapes.
Oh, so dumbass hipsters are trying to bring something.
Yeah.
Listen, I've got a whole bin in the garage right now. I'll sell you $20 a cassette for God's sakes. That's
you know, here on Ventura Boulevard, Rocha, you make a killing.
Go to the flea markets.
These are authentic. You know, I even rubbed out the titles to make it look even more authentic for you.
Nice.
Anyway, yeah. So I think we're headed towards something where it's just the. But this is a good question that someone asked me this morning on Mornings with the Outlaw. They said, would this be happening if Batman was coming out in 2021? If the new Fantastic Beasts, if there are more premiere franchises? Because I mean, Wonder Woman's only one movie. Right. And Suicide Squad, the first movie, was not really well received. Even Mikey Christmas will tell you he doesn't have a fan. The original Suicide Squad. So would they be doing
Mike? My favorite movie experience is doing the AMC Best Picture 24-hour marathon every year. There's something about being with a bunch of people seeing all those movies together. I remember sobbing with another woman during Room.
There you go.
Okay. Do you guys think they'd be doing this?
Do I think what, John?
In the theater.
Yeah. Do you guys think they'd be doing this? They'd be doing this if Batman was coming out in 2021, if Fantastic Beasts was coming out in 2021?
Well, what? Yeah, that's what I was wondering. It's like what? Because you know the big ones are Suicide Squad, Wonder Woman,
Matrix.
Matrix.
Yeah, I looked. Yeah, of those 20, it was for me. It was Kong vs. Godzilla, Wonder Woman, Matrix, Mortal Kombat, Suicide Squad, and what's that last one?
Tom and Jerry. No.
No, there was like 6. There were 6 of those like that I thought were like tent pole for me. But again,
Mortal Kombat.
Mortal Kombat might not be a big one for a lot of people.
And Godzilla King of the Monsters, it didn't make anything.
Yeah, you're right.
That's the thing. Like Ben, I got into it with people. People were like losing their minds. They saw the font for Godzilla, and I was Kong versus Godzilla. I'm like, wait a minute. Did I just miss when people didn't like King of Monsters, and now we're suddenly excited again for this one? It's like, oh, Mike, but this time it's Kong. I'm like, yeah, well, that one.
That was the
last one. You're like, this time it's Mothra, and I'm like,
yeah, like
get excited.
Like,
what's it gonna be, guys?
We went and saw Godzilla, but there was no Godzilla in 2014, and then they give you all the Godzilla, and no one went and saw it.
I know, like it was a great, it was a fun movie. It's a fun movie, but everyone didn't lose their mind for it. Everyone's like, whatever. Oh, I'm not gonna see it. It's crap. It looked like crap. And now they're losing their mind for Kong versus Godzilla. Like, Kong's in it this time.
Dune is on there, but Denis Villeneuve doesn't make money. Like as much as I
he doesn't.
Dune make $1 billion.
That was the one.
Dune's my big one that I'd love to, that I'm probably gonna go to OC to see in theaters. Honestly, but it doesn't make. Blade Runner 2049 didn't make money. Like I love that. It's one of my favorite movies of the decade. It made nothing.
Arrival doesn't make. His movies don't make money. You're absolutely right.
I don't know how, but
they're masterpieces.
But we have Timothée Chalamet. Did you see that? The entire ensemble in Dune. You have a lot of stars that are kind of hitting a lot of demographics. I do think Zendaya. Like just Timothée Chalamet and Zendaya alone, that will get every single young person.
$150.
Wow.
Thank you, Johnny. Today. Well, except Rocha. Just kidding. I would like 2 impressions from everybody today about anything you want. Just be the end of the show. Everyone have a wonderful weekend.
All right.
Balls.
Here's the deal. We'll do that thing. First of all, thank you so much. You can bust my balls all you want for $150. Knock yourself out. But here's the deal.
Can I bust your balls for $150?
No, you got to pay,
for
son.
free.
Pay it up.
I do it for free.
Yes, you do. $150 just put us over 500 before the end of the hour. So thank you so much. Nice. Now let's get another 500 in the second hour to get us over 1,000 so we can really end the week right in a positive way. So fantastic stuff. Thank you so much. So 2 impressions throughout the show from each of us. I don't even know if Mikey Christmas does impressions, but 2 impressions.
Oh, I got a couple for you. Can an outlaw impression count?
No, I don't think so.
Yes, it can.
If you can top RB3's impression of me, knock yourself out.
Oh, I don't think I could do that. That's a good one. It's funny you talk about Dune because I got into this and I wrongfully tweeted out something on Twitter about Dune and not being I don't get it, and I got lambasted for it. Like,
that happens on Twitter?
I go, what is it with Dune? And everyone's excited. Like everyone lost their mind for that trailer, and I'm like, am I missing something? Because I don't think anyone was a big fan of that original one.
Nope.
And I don't know much about Dune. They're like, are you kidding me, Mike? It's the biggest cinematic literary masterpiece of the past 50 years, bigger than Lord of the Rings. Are you out of your fucking mind? You don't know shit, Mike. And I was like, whoa.
I think that counts as a Bibiani impression. I think that counts as a Bibiani impression. Go ahead.
I thought that was your Rocha impression.
Oh, no, my Rocha impression.
You, man.
Yeah, people lost their minds. Like, how do you not know Dune and how beloved it is? I was like, it's yes, to the science fiction community, literally, yes, it's probably the greatest thing of all time. But to general audiences, they don't know. They remember. I remember Sting and the fat dude with the bubbles on his skin from that movie. Yeah. That's what I remember from Dune.
Okay.
Completely taking that film out of the picture. The book is like celebrated and loved, and it has like a resurgence every decade. Basically, people are reading it in school. We're all like, "Did you read Dune?" That type of thing. So I had that when I was a kid, and I read it a long time ago. I'm rereading it before this film, but I think this has a lot of potential to be that really incredible cinematic experience that we're kind of waiting for, because we have a very quality filmmaker with a quality story, amazing ensemble. And that's why I was saying, like, impression number 1, like the young kids are going to come out, baby. They're going to come out to go see Zendaya and Timothée Chalamet. That's number 1. Then we have Oscar Isaac, Rebecca Ferguson, Josh Brolin, so many people in this film. That's why I think, Jason Momoa. That's why I think a lot of people are going to actually check out this film compared to Denny's like other films.
Yeah, that's a fair point, and we'll see. I mean, it's a hell of an undertaking because apparently it's in 2 parts. So it's a hell. But I mean, no one's mentioned The Matrix. I mean, we cursory, but I don't want to watch The Matrix 4 at home. I want to see that in the theater. That was one of the most seminal, life-changing experiences I ever had. And I was in Tallahassee, same time as Kalinowski down there. I remember going to see. I remember the theater I was in. I remember the reaction afterwards. And it just I didn't know movies could do that till you saw what The Matrix was. I mean, that bullet time shit, now everybody does it. But when it happened the first time, you were like, what the hell is this? Yeah, so like those experiences might be lost as you're watching it at home. It's just not quite the same thing. I do agree with that. But, this thing, the only constant in life is change. And this seems to be where we're headed. Now the question is, for all of you, and Alex, look, real quick, In the Heights, is that gonna bother you? That's gonna go to streaming and the theater as well instead of fully getting a theatrical release?
Yeah, that's like why I'm mostly against this whole thing, because of the communal experience. Like I was saying yesterday, I want to cry with everybody. Like I want to cry with people. Just let me do that. You know, but like I get it from a business perspective that Warner Brothers is doing this, and like theaters will return in 2022 once everything's settled down. People will want to re-experience this and get that, you know, get that time being in a dark room, like with a big screen full of strangers, and it's kind of like wearing a mask. Do it now so that the future will be better.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
It's like it's temporary. It sucks, but it'll just mean that further down the line we'll have better things.
Ryan, let me ask you, and I'll ask everybody this too. Like, okay, look, Universal did this a few months ago with the 17-day window between their release and things coming out on streaming and whatever. Now we got this day and date from Warner Brothers, right? So how, and we do have Disney dropping Soul, but these other studios now, I mean, Warner Brothers threw the gauntlet on the ground. Do you anticipate that these other studios might follow the same path here and start announcing their own slates coming out through their own streaming services day and date as well?
I mean, the interesting thing you point out there is not all studios can exactly do that. Only really Disney can do a very similar thing with Warner Brothers HBOmax. Like Paramount doesn't have their own streaming service. Like they got to sell those to Netflix. They got to sell.
They do have a Paramount streaming app where Yellowstone was on, but I don't think they've got the notoriety of it or the fame of it. And you know, and same thing with Peacock and NBC. Like you're not going to put stuff on Peacock, are you?
Yeah, I mean, I know that they've been selling the majority of their films or just giving them to Netflix, the distribution. So that's the I think Disney's the one to keep an eye out on right now, especially Black Widow. But again, I think that this was such a huge chess move. HBO Max instantly became, at least in my book, the most valuable streaming service, the one that I want. If I can only pick from 3 or 4, it's HBO Max. Right? I'm picking that one. Like it's.
I thought you were gonna say if I could only pick one. If I only could pick like a handful, like 5 or 6 or 9, HBO Max is gonna be in the top 7.
I mean, again, with Disney though, once Mandalorian ends, I don't know what's keeping me there until the next show.
WandaVision.
WandaVision. I got tagged in that. When's that coming out? January 15th.
Yeah, 15th. January 15th.
But you know, like, again, that's a whole month I can do without it. So I'm all in on this. I think this is a really smart move. Again, the big thing is it's a safety thing with the theaters right now. And you're right. I think that they're going to be getting more money from the actual ticket, the theaters, because I think they're only getting $1 from the ticket before. So that is a big deal. But this was a huge move that now everyone needs to adapt on. I'm most excited to see the Suicide Squad out of all those films. I think In the Heights is going to do fine. Hamilton was on Disney Plus. Everyone lost their minds over it for 2 weeks. I know this isn't the exact same, but I think that they're all going to do fine. Yeah, they might be leaving money on the table, but they also might not be. I think they did the math and they said, you know what, like these might get pushed out. There might be another outbreak. They might forcibly have to close some theaters. We might as well just commit to this. And in the long run, it'll do ourselves a favor.
Yeah, Ryan, you mentioned a great point about Disney. I was talking to Shannon the other night, Barney.
Everyone.
And I said, Disney's going to be the one to watch. That's the thing, like, because being such a conglomerate that they are and what they own, they're in like, for me, I'd love to see Black Widow at home. That's a film that I could watch at home. It's this little, family spy film that's has epic stakes. I'm excited. I want to see that soon. But, they've got that slate, and their Marvel films push their films. And this is more so than DC. It's pushing everything back. And they've got to go, well, we got to start getting these films because they're being made. They're filming Spider-Man 3 right now. Yeah. These films are being made. The industry, as far as that goes with SAG and all the TV film, it's going. That is not being shut down. The regulations are not affecting that because the safety protocols are in effect. So the content's coming. I think we're getting to that bottleneck where it's all like like you got to start putting this out there. So Disney's the one to watch. I don't know what they're going to do though. I have no idea.
Mike, you're the huge James Bond fan. What does Bond do?
Bond for me, then there was just this talk. The investors are getting worried that it's being pushed again.
Just release it.
But the director had just said, he's like, I'm distancing myself from this. I'm being dispassionate about it. I want my film out there, but it's not safe to see this yet. There was talk that they were going to sell it. I personally have some investment in when it's coming out with something I'm working on that I haven't been able to talk about yet. So for me, it's like, I want this film to get out so I can start talking about something. But I don't know that they're not like Disney. They're not like Warner Brothers. They don't have a ton of films. This is a big one. The investment's there. The money's there.
You're the new fucking Bond? You're the new fucking Bond? Is that what this is?
I'm the first American Bond. Can you
Son
imagine?
of a bitch.
Can you imagine this world
Son
losing
of a
its
bitch.
fucking mind? Hey, let me just say
No
this.
wonder you've been walking around cocking a walk lately, you son of a bitch. Yeah,
let me just say this, my friend. If we can have a British Spider-Man, Batman, Superman, we can have an American James Bond. I'm sorry.
How
I'm sorry.
dare you, sir?
British
People love-
actors are elite.
People love our English players that are playing our American heroes. An American can play a British hero. Just saying that. Would I be okay with it? Even if I was it? I don't know. Because I am impartial to a British Bond. Well, Scottish. Come on. Connery was Scottish.
Well, we've seen. Well,
Would I be okay with it? I don't know. Did the check cash? Then I'm good.
Chill it up. But no, I mean, we just saw The Crown with Gillian Anderson playing Margaret Thatcher and Meryl Streep playing Margaret Thatcher. So, I mean, we've seen
Bryce Dallas
American
Howard
actors.
was Elton John's mom.
That's true.
Hey, people lost their damn minds when Craig was cast because he was blonde. If an American was James Bond, holy crap.
Yeah. It's
I
true.
don't think that'll
Eddie
happen.
Redmayne in Chicago's? Oh, he wasn't.
I don't think it'll ever happen.
Well, no, I don't think it will. The Brits don't have much in terms of iconography.
I know. I know that's the argument.
They hold on to their ones like
That's the argument. I get
crazy.
it.
Yeah. What do you
I
guys
don't know though. They need to really. I want to see it, but of course I would watch it, but I need the theater. I'm a theater guy.
$600 million, man. That tells you the value of that franchise.
Ooh, and they didn't take it.
Yeah, they didn't take it.
But being that this is Craig's last one, and from what I'm hearing happens in this film, it's kind of a big moment for Bond. So.
Is that why you can't release you? Do you kill Bond in the film? Is that what?
Are you in it, John? Mike?
Are you in it, Kalinowski? Is that what you're trying to tell us?
I'm not giving you an exclusive.
Oh,
Goodness.
all right.
No
All right.
exclusives today.
All right. Let's. Anybody else want to chime in on this, or should we move on?
I was gonna ask Brett, as like the only person with a family, how he feels about like, I get to like not take my kids to go see Wonder Woman and save $120.
There he is.
There he
he's eating. Okay.
What do you think, Brett?
I was eating some peanuts. Life's like a can of peanuts.
I got some too.
Sorry, I was
So
going to
everything's the same no matter what you do.
So what's your question, Ben, about the kids?
Well, because I mean, we're all talking about like from like the movie nerd perspective. How's your actual financial? Like, okay, you pay $15 a month for HBOmax, and now you're getting all the big comic book movies, and and Tom and Jerry. You're probably the only one.
Right? Well, I think again, my kids are different. They've actually never really enjoyed the movie theater experience to the point where like and thankfully to me, because it is very expensive to take a family of four to the movie theater. So to me, I don't want them to go away or anything like that. I think movie theaters will come back, and they definitely aren't. This isn't the death of theaters or anything like that, but to me, I think that it doesn't really affect us that much, because first of all, with the age differences between my kids too, like right now, we could never agree on anything. It's either too kiddish or too scary for my daughter, So, I don't know. It's I'm not in that film fanatic. I'd like to go myself. I'd really like to go myself and see something, and I even more so than I used to, because I had kind of fallen off, and now not having that, just something different than just laying in bed and crying would be great right now.
Oh my
That's
God.
exactly what I was gonna say.
Is that a streaming service?
Yeah.
Laying in bed and crying. I like what Alex mentioned earlier. I feel like a lot of people throughout, like before the pandemic, obviously people weren't headed out to the theaters that often. It wasn't something that we saw. We saw a decline in that. But I think that we've noticed throughout the pandemic and quarantine that we're kind of we took a lot of things for granted. Like we just didn't appreciate a lot of stuff that we had. And now that it's gone, we do miss it. So I think that once it's actually safe, I do think that people are going to head out to the theaters when they don't have to worry about getting sick or being around like a huge crowd. When you just don't have to think about that stuff anymore, I think people actually are going to head out to the theaters. And one more thing, I'm really bad. I don't know if I'm the only one, but I'm so bad at watching big movies at home. I get so distracted by everything around me. Like I'll get up and go eat and things like that. And I'm like, oh, I forgot to pause it. Like, it's just, when I'm in the theater, I'm in a completely different mindset and I just can't have that experience at home. So I'm actually watching a huge movie in a few hours. And this is going to be my first time watching one of these big ones at home. So I'm hoping, I'm going to put everything away. I'm going to eat beforehand. I'm going to try not to get distracted, but this is kind of the first one for me where I kind of see how this is going to fare for 2021.
Okay. Nice humble brag though. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
So what's the...
I saw, like, I've gone to the drive-in quite a bit, and I might go to one tonight. Like I saw Mank, Ma Rainey's Black Bottom, and probably see The Prom tonight. And those are like movies that I would have loved to see in the regular theater with a bunch of people. But like drive-ins are the best that I can get right now, and so like I'm enjoying that.
Okay.
Yeah, Rocha, we McClung and I took a jaunt down to Irvine to see Tenet down there, and this was before the Regal closed. This was like one of the last Regals that was open in the country. You know, and I loved the experience, but also kind of was like, I would have loved to see this at home so I could put the subtitles on. I don't understand what the hell these people are saying in this film, and that's Nolan and his sound mixing, but it was still the experience. It was still worth it. I do think what Sabrina says. I don't know, Ryan, if you remember this, but we were back when DC Movie News, we were live and stuff, and we were able to have a studio. I remember saying, this was back when Wonder Woman was talked about being pushed, and this is back in March. So I was like, oh, can you imagine, guys, in September when this is all over and it's behind us and people want to go back to theaters and Wonder Woman's the one that they go to, that movie's going to kill, because like what Sabrina said, people will want to go to the theaters. They'll want to get out. It's like with Disney. Disney's going to be overrun when it's finally, I agree to that. I think we'll reach a point where people would just want to get, but you hear people saying, I miss hugging people. I miss being able to go to a bar. So I think that initial push will be huge, but after that, once the dust settles and we're back to what our new normal will be, that's going to be the telling time.
But I don't like this rest in peace theaters thing that people are throwing. There's no way in hell. Theaters are not good. They're going to be limited. They're not. Maybe we won't have as many, and some of them unfortunately are going to disappear. But this is not something that people are going to stop. There will be a drive to go back again, and there will be something. It's just a matter of when we get better. I got to tell you, I'm not an anti-vaxxer. I'm nervous about taking a vaccine.
See?
I don't want to be a guinea pig. When they say it's like, it's 76% effective, I'm like, 100%'s better for me, but I guess I'll give it a whirl. Maybe I'll take the bullet for the rest of the family. Who knows? But it's a weird thing, because I don't think that it's any particular group of people that are nervous about this. I think we're all kind of like, I'd love a vaccine, but I'd also love to really, really know that it's going to work. The
weird thing happening. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, no. Well, there's other parts of the country when talking about movie theaters where people have to drive like 30 miles or even more, and it's just not as accessible to them. And that's where it's kind of like, do you want to take that huge trip? Do you want to pay that money? Obviously, we're mostly in Los Angeles, so we can go just a few miles and see a movie anywhere. Plus, we get Oscar type of films. We get independent films. You're going to definitely probably see a decline. Like in Portrait of a Lady on Fire was one of my favorite films I saw in a theater. That was my favorite theater experience. And a lot of people didn't get the chance to see it. Parasite as well. Parasite was talked about, won the Oscar. A lot of people had not seen it at that point. And so it's just sad because people are going to be missing out on things unless it's these huge tentpole films.
It's like Order 66 for the theaters, but there's still some Jedi floating out there, I think they're
John,
going to be back.
John, also, you probably could answer this because before all the pandemic started, and I think there was, it has kind of taken a back seat in the news. There was that idea or the thing that the government was going to roll back those regulations that were implemented. Brett, I see talk about where they were like the studios controlled theaters, and there was this big legislation put in. I want to say back in the 40s, 50s, or 60s, where that broke that up and it allowed individual theaters. But then it said, no, we're getting rid of that. So now there's this talk that the studios can own their own theaters, and that controls what they show. How do you guys think about that hasn't been talked about because this virus took over, but it's still there.
Well, El Capitan is quaint because of that. But if you start to see other things, because Netflix has been negotiating, they bought, I think, Egyptian and Arrow, and they're looking at buying others. Amazon Prime has talked about buying theaters. So I think that is a possibility. And I think people would be okay with it if it's a way to keep theaters alive and functioning and out there for people to watch. In a normal situation, like maybe a year ago, you hear that people are like, no, because they're to control the content. Only this kind of movie, only these kinds of movies that are connected to the studio, we have to show. You should leave these theaters wide open, blah, blah, blah. So I think now that things have changed. It's not a negative necessarily for these studios to buy these theaters and put their stuff in there for people to enjoy. You know, What do you think, Brett?
I think, well, with what Sabrina's saying, then that who that really is going to hurt are the rural communities where you have to drive a half an hour to, because now if we're splitting them up by studios, then it's going to be like, oh, I've got to go half hour this way for this one and half hour this way for that one, you know. That's something I just actually thought of right now. So I was like, I kind of like the idea, but then, oh no, maybe I don't. I like the idea if it means that the ticket prices may go down and you can get some more people there because you're cutting out the middleman, and maybe they're not relying so much on $500 Cokes and things like that. So I don't know.
The other aspect of this is HBO Max is not on Roku. And I don't think it's on Amazon Fire.
Yeah, that's right.
So, if you want to do this big announcement and blah, 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 and own the news cycle, well, get your asses in a negotiating room and put HBO Max on fucking Roku. Like, enough is enough already with this cat and mouse, or this tete-a-tete you guys are having. 46 million people use Roku, and you're not taking advantage of the fact that could be an increase in your subscriber base, increase in your profit. And as Kalinowski pointed out earlier, leaving that much money on the table. Like, here's a way to recoup that money by getting all those people involved. I think that's the number for Roku.
There is a workaround. You can get it in as a
fuck
hub.
that. I tried. Fuck that, man. I shouldn't have to take 10 steps to see your shit.
Oh,
I hate
no.
that.
It's through Amazon Prime. Amazon Prime has a hub that is HBO Max. They have HBO Max, Showtime, and Stars, and that's how we've accessed it through our.
Do you have to pay extra for it?
Well, you're paying for HBO Max.
But if I have HBO, because I still have cable, I'm one of those archaic motherfuckers with cable still. If I have cable, that's how I get HBO Max, because I have cable. So, oh my God, kiss my ass. So if I have to go, do I get to do that workaround if I have Amazon Prime as well?
That I don't know. I'm guessing it would. I mean, because it's still you still have, you're paying for the service, and I think it's just another way of viewing it because the concerns about not being able to see it on with the Roku.
No, we could all just hang out in my apartment and huddle around my laptop and watch
Yes.
All right. Anyway, all right. Well, let us know. I don't know if they clip this out. Let us know if you want what you think about the HBO Max
30 minutes.
45-minute clip out.
Solid clip.
Maybe someone will do some editing. Let us know what you thought about it down there in the comment section below. So like and subscribe to the stuff we do here on SEN. All right. Listen, we're at only $518. I say only because we crossed 500 early. Come on, people. Yeah. I know you've enjoyed the conversation, but start sending in some more Streamlabs, Schmoebots, and Super Chats. We do owe that $150 homie a couple of impressions, so we get those through near the end of the show. But keep sending in your Streamlabs, Super Chats, Schmoebots as we go on. Alex, do we have any other news topics, or should we get into these Streamlabs as it's 11:20?
Yeah, let's get into Streamlabs,
okay,
just because I'm sure some of these questions will spark other conversations.
Sure.
All right, Wolf of Ball Street says,
okay, discuss.
Hilfa. One of the funniest scenes in the movie. Anyways, y'all's thoughts on Westbrook trade to Wizards? Thank you. Brett, you're funny. Brina, you're sweet. Goddard, you're awesome. Ryan, super nice. Alex, so cool. Rocha, you're like great Apache leader. Love you all.
Oh, Jesus. That's very kind.
And Mike is very cool, too.
Yeah, you're the best.
First of all, Wolf of Ball Street. You should get extra credit for that. That's fantastic. Yeah. I don't know if anyone else was. I'm sure Ben can chime in on this as the NBA fan himself, but I love the idea of Westbrook going to the Wizards. I think we needed an alpha for quite some time. Wall was never the alpha. He was a diva alpha, constantly getting injured. I'm happy that we're making this move. That contract was an albatross around the organization's neck. So the fact that we were able to get rid of it and get Westbrook in the process, pretty incredible. If he's back healthy, then I'm excited to see what he can do. He can collapse the defense, get Beal some wide open shots. How he works with Ruchimura is going to be interesting as well. So for me, overall, I love this idea. I have been excited about a free agent coming to the Wizards like this since Chris Webber. So I like this idea. Anybody else?
I'm
Ben?
curious because like whatever metrics you want to put on the Rockets, it was worse when he was on the floor,
Right.
with Harden. So I'm curious to see how him and Beal work together. But and then maybe that'll keep James Harden in Houston. We'll see what coach they have for John Wall. So I'm curious about it. I mean, these aren't my teams either way, but I'm curious to see how both experiments work.
I just don't understand how you have 2 point guards. I don't understand the Houston idea of having 2 point guards. It makes no fucking sense to have 2 starting point guards on your starting 5, right?
I think it's crazy that you're right. It was the whole contract. I'm glad they got out of it, and it's an experiment. I hope he comes back healthy. That's all I can say. Going to football, some players just never fully recover. Is all I can say, and then they get these big contracts and it hurts the team overall. So I hope he fully recovers.
Big contracts, Anthony Davis.
Oof.
5 years.
Wow.
And like you're still kind of seeing the effects of the big 2016-2017 salary cap raised year with like Chris Paul is even being traded. And I feel like at some point Chris Paul, John Wall, Russell Westbrook will all end up on a different team next year just because like they're just trying these experiments, and like it's good for, I think it's Steven Silas who's
he's coaching
the Rockets now. And they have like DeMarcus Cousins too. So it'll be it's all time for experimenting right now, and Rockets are kind of meh. So
Marzoña,
contract, Chris Paul. Oh my gosh,
Marzoña, I love it. Marzoña, I think you might be coming on Game Time soon, brother. I love this idea. I love this concept. Go ahead, man.
And I think Rocco agreed that the talkies didn't ruin the theater experience, so they'll stick around. That's my good point on that sports talk.
Brett's just mad he's losing his job at the back of the theater playing the piano.
All right. What do we got, Alex? What's next?
All right, next one from Zaflirtenflaus fan. Hey, Brett, quick question. What's the possibility of bringing Zaflirtenflaus for one more episode before the end of the year? Could we set a price goal? He's what the world needs right now.
I bet we could set a price goal, but I'd have to talk to my wife about it because, like I said, Zaflirtenflaus left because I enjoy intercourse. So seriously, having that tuft and walking around the house was killing my game, folks.
Wait,
and
so
it's hard enough when you're
Vikings,
40.
but that's the same haircut as like the show Vikings.
That's true.
It's close. The shave she thinks is hot. Having a tuft up there, not so hot. Wearing a hat in the bedroom, not so hot.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
All right.
We'll see. We'll see.
We can get into this more now. Tanzier13 is asking
Please don't.
Oscar Isaac as Moon Knight. And now Solid Snake. I'm not ready. MGS is my favorite video game franchise, and having him play Snake is blowing my mind. I'm wary of the writers and how complicated the story is, but having Isaac attached gives me hope. So we kind of touched on this earlier, but Ben, I know you're a video game guy too. What do you think of this news?
I've never played these. I've never played any of the Solid Snake games, so I'm kind of out of the loop here. People doing the side-by-side comparison on Twitter right now. Oscar Isaac in anything is great, though. Like, he can literally do anything, and I'm going to be excited for it, so I'm all about it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I never played it either. I know him from, like, Super Smash Bros. That's where
Exactly. That's the only time I've ever used Solid Snake is in Smash Bros.
I think now that he's out of Star Wars, this has freed him up a little bit more. And you're right, Oscar Isaac is great and everything, but, I mean, X-Men Apocalypse, that's how you don't use him. Yeah. So I'm thrilled that he's passionate about this role and he's excited for it.
I am a big Metal Gear Solid guy. Like, that was my first PS2 game that I loved, was that game. And it's interesting. I'm more on board with this casting than I am with him as Moon Knight. Because as John and I know, John and I are big Moon Knight fans. Yeah. So I don't envision him as Mark Spector. And that's a weird casting for me. And I don't doubt it because he's such a good actor. But Metal Gear and Solid Snake fits more into it. The games, like the chat said, are so dense. There's some stories as the later games get on that is so. I think his name is Hideo Kojima. I don't know his last name. Hideo Hideo is his first name, and I know I'm saying it wrong. Are so out there, and the games. It's not just like a straight spy film. It's not just a straight espionage type thing. It's weird. They get very weird. So I hope they kind of keep it more grounded. But I know fans of the game because it's worldwide. That game has such a following. I know they love that kind of out there craziness, and but it's a game that I've really wanted to see as a movie, so that's exciting. But
yeah,
it's a lot. It's a lot to put out there, man.
It's a series. I feel like video game adaptations just need to be like HBO shows like that, just because the stories are so intricate and long, and like we've seen video game movies they just don't work. They just don't work, unfortunately. Like the translation just isn't there. So I'm excited to see what they do with the Last of Us series, because that's such a good story, but like I've already seen it and I've already played it. So I'm wondering like what deviations they're going to make and who they cast. But I'm glad that it's a series, not a movie, because I was like, there's no way they could do this in a movie. There's no way they could cover everything in a movie.
Also, Jordan Vogt Roberts is behind this, and I know he's been like posting onto social media about this for a very, very long time. And I kind of trust him as a filmmaker when somebody's really passionate about something, that they can definitely do it justice, and it's very evident that he is.
Yeah, I think it's interesting too that like he walks away from Star Wars and says like, "It's cool, I did that." And there was rumors.
$20.
Thank you.
Brett, is there a playdate today, or do you hate your 18 loyal fans? It truly is the bastard show of Senator Oh Hi Mike.
Oh goodness, yeah, I'm pretty sure we're having one today. I was just actually going to text Kate and our producer Ian, but yeah, we had the holiday and whatever. But yeah, we'll come check you out. I'm pretty sure I'll hit Kate up right now and make sure that's going down. The thing with that show is it's supposed to be in a studio right now, and the whole pitching a show and how to make a show and what to turn it into thing has kind of got a little too long of doing that. We were supposed to be in studio doing sketches and fun things, but yes, we love talking with you, and I'm pretty sure it's going down today. So is that's a half answer. There you go.
A 95% yes.
Let me get the old texty out.
Money well spent.
Fuck, I lost my train of thought again.
He left Star Wars.
He left Star Wars. That should say something to Star Wars, though, right? To that new trilogy. Like, he said, I'm going to go back to doing things that I really enjoy doing. Everyone thought, hold on, Mom. Everyone thought he was going to go off and do, do the smaller independent films. And here he is taking on essentially two franchises. So that should tell you, like, it never was an issue about franchise versus independent movie. It's about Star Wars. Yeah.
It was like Michael Keaton makes Birdman, which is a movie that hails against franchises and big blockbusters, and he does Spider-Man, right? Coming back for Batman.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like he's like, oh, okay, so if I do a good independent film, then I get the paychecks? Okay, I'll take the paychecks. Like,
yeah, it's like those people that go, I'm happy being the size I am, and then they lose 100 pounds. Look how much I lost. And it's like, well, which is it? You can't have it both ways.
You can have both. You can definitely have both. So. I love Oscar Isaac in the smaller films. Inside Llewyn Davis is one of my favorite films ever.
It's really good.
So I like this little mix that he's doing. I think he's going to take on these franchises, but still come back and do those smaller films. So.
Okay. Yeah. I agree that he could do both. Absolutely. All right. What's our next thing, Alex?
All right. From Marvel Man Mike. He says, Star Trek update from the official Trekkie correspondent of SEN. Another truly awesome episode of Discovery in a season that's been absolutely brilliant. Okay. Can't believe we're getting actors like Janet Kidder and David Cronenberg. And next week looks epic.
Wow.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
Cool. They have the talent. Wow.
All right, we got half an hour left on this show. We're only at 5:40. I don't know what's going to happen. Does Kalinowski have to take his shirt off? Is that what we got to do?
Yeah, that ain't happening right now.
Come on, let's get it to 1,000. Both Goddard and Kalinowski takes their shirt off at 1,000.
That ain't happening. I do not want to see that. There's a reason I've been wearing sweats since July.
I love when skinny guys complain. They've gained 5 extra pounds. Fuck you. Try to be this size.
Well, what was it? Like that thing went viral on Twitter. It was like, Dave, do you want to feel sad? In the Santa Claus, Tim Allen ballooned to a whopping 194 pounds. I was like, what? Like, that is not the news I needed today.
Whopping. I remember 195. I think it was 18. All right. Anyway, what's the next thing, Alex?
Marvel Man Mike's back and saying, I agree that I personally found this week's Mandalorian the best of the season. Such great direction from Rodriguez. Give him a full movie and felt like a Star Wars movie rather than a Clone Wars episode. Intrigued to see the last 2 episodes of season 2.
I could see that.
Good thoughts, my friend. That's what I was thinking too. Yeah.
All right, keep going, Alex.
Next one from Garth Harkness McMurray. This was my favorite episode of The Mandalorian just because of everything that happened. Much better entertainment than back when Rocha and I would sit in the cave and watch the tribe leaders by the fire, using hand shadows to tell stories to us sometimes.
Yeah, but look at you and look at me, pal. Come on. All right, keep going.
Marvel Man Mike back again.
I remember theaters were first created. I said it would never work. I was wrong.
Marvel Man Mike's back, saying, oh shit, guys, I know you probably can't play for copyright reasons, but there's a Whitney Houston song called I'm Your Baby Tonight doing the rounds on Twitter because it's literally the cartoon X-Men theme. Go listen for yourself. Trust me.
Oh,
I have listened to that, and like it came up last year, and I was like, oh my god, this is the theme, and like now it's just a frequent bop on my.
Is it the one where the guy's putting the lyrics to it, right? Is that the one?
I'm your baby.
The X-Men theme.
No.
There's a guy. Oh, there's a guy on the internet that put lyrics to it. It's pretty awesome.
No, it's literally just a Whitney Houston song that's just. No.
I remember that song.
Oh yeah.
I'm your baby tonight. Good song.
You guys hadn't heard that song until last year?
Yeah.
I didn't know.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wait,
the
there was
kids
something you
nowadays.
did on your live show, and I didn't bring this up, but you said something. You sang a Linkin Park song or something. You sang a song, no, Arctic Monkeys,
Me?
Arcave.
Oh,
yeah, and you said, and apparently this is a cover, and I mean, it was like, and Rocha, your mind would have been blown. What was it? It's an old.
It was Baby I'm Yours.
Yeah, baby, I'm yours.
Yeah.
And he didn't realize it was a cover.
That's so much. It's so much.
Baby, I'm yours.
Great song.
Well, we did the 90s recasting of Knives Out with me and Sabrina cast Jonathan Taylor Thomas. She's like, I don't know who this guy is, but I heard he was big in the 90s. I was just like, oh
I've
my
never
God.
seen this man in my life.
Who is that?
JTT.
I've never seen this man. And why does everyone love him so much?
I think we can get him on SEN Live at this point.
Probably could, honestly.
All right, Alex.
All right. From Trash Panda. Hey all, had an interesting thought while I was stoned last night. Does religion exist in the MCU after the snap? Were people yanked from the afterlife? Do they remember what they saw? Earth alone would be a ripple effect. Earth alone would a ripple effect if beliefs were challenged like that.
Oh, wait, they're doing that in a Disney film. Let me
Check
say
out the
that right now.
left-
But
The leftovers.
But
Well,
say-
even the population, like you wonder,
Yeah.
okay, it's been 5 years and they've adjusted to, half the population being on. How are they going to adjust to everyone being, unfortunately, all those people that, died from planes falling on them and, cars with no drivers crashing into them, like they're not coming back. But like, how are they going to adjust with, basically 3.5 billion people being snapped back just like out of nowhere?
Let me say this on behalf of my friend Mikey Christmas and I.
Oh,
all
boy.
these people who whined about the end of Man of Steel and all those people died, they sure as fuck had no problem with all these people dying at the end of Avenger or during that 5-year gap when all that snap happened. They sure as fuck didn't have an issue with that, did they? So,
No, they didn't. No, they didn't.
Consistency, people. Consistency in your criticism. It's important.
That's the point, Rocha. Be consistent in your criticism. You can critique the crap out of someone, but give it to both things.
Exactly.
What put the same glasses on that you look at these things.
Because Endgame didn't glorify the destruction that was in Man of Steel, nor
That
did
wasn't
it have.
glorified.
That wasn't
Oh
glorified.
my gosh!
It was like,
Are you-
oh my God, why is this happening? All these people might be dying. At least that's what I thought. I wasn't
Literally, you saw bodies being EDM bass
Yeah.
slammed into the pavement,
It was crunchy.
and then
Oh,
Superman literally moves out of the way
Sabrina.
instead of like taking on like, oh, I'm gonna stop this tanker truck. He moves out of the way casually, and then the entire building collapses behind him. He's like,
Nothing would freak Sabrina out more as she turns to her left at the Disney Carnival. What is it? What is it? That thing up in
Electric Light
Vegas?
Parade?
The EDC. No, the EDC. She turns to her left at the EDC, and I'm there going, yeah, this is great.
Tonight, once this is all over, we're going out, Rocha. Like, I want to hit up the brewery with you. We're going to the
Let's do it.
raves. I don't care.
Let's do it. I love EDM concerts. I'm a man. I love that shit. All right. What do we got next, Alex?
Marvel Man Mike, back once again.
Marvel
Rocha,
Man Mike!
Respectfully, sir, there was more to the Letitia Wright thing than your oversimplification. She also went full QAnon, claiming that a cabal of Satan worshippers were controlling people and throwing in transphobia to boot. Full religious zealotry.
Well,
That's fair, but I was only focusing on the vaccination part of it.
I think
absolutely
Rocha,
fair. I wasn't excusing.
Yeah, I think that's the problem because I kind of reached into that more last night, and I didn't want to click on the video because I don't want to give justification to that. But in there's a lot of transphobia stuff. It's really like it could have been effective. She could have just watched a little bit on the anti-vax and posted, but it was so. And we've all been guilty of retweeting something that you just see the initial part of, but then you go and you're like, oh god, this doesn't look good.
Yeah.
And now this morning, I don't know if you guys covered it. She backtracked real fast.
Yeah, of course, because Black Panther's on the line. I
backtracked too. I saw the Okoye's going to get a promotion pretty soon. But I did those videos. It was those videos they did like a Ben Affleck sad meme, and it was all like the Letitia agent's manager and agents right now. They're all like,
yeah. The publicist was like chugging whiskey, smoking a cigarette. Damn, like what are we gonna do here?
Oh yeah, it was like those 4 pictures of Ben Affleck, like he's just like on the beach smoking a cigarette.
Yes, it's like
dragon tattoo.
You know, Winston just speed dialed Coogler. So M'Baku could be a good Black Panther. I'm just saying.
It was like a guy with a cigarette like this. It was like who's the director? I can't think of his name. Ryan Coogler. He's like Ryan Coogler rewriting Black Panther for the 3rd time.
It's
God
damn it! You got a voice, especially you're someone like.
Oops, was that me? Pay no mind. I will just keep spewing bullcrap out of my mouth instead.
Juliana Farts donated that.
Oh, thank
perfect.
you, Julian.
Nice.
I appreciate that.
But that's the thing with the Letitia Wright stuff. I'm not saying anything negative against her. She needs to be a little bit more responsible when you have a large platform. Even though all of us have been guilty of that, none of us are the Letitia Wrights or the other celebrities that will just spread misinformation. Because on the internet, people will read it and just be like, oh yeah, that's true. And then run with it. And it's kind of crazy when you think about it. So it's just holding yourself accountable, being more responsible with the platform that you have.
Yeah. My only point was we can't be so fucking precious that subjects can't be talked about or avenues can't be explored. The conversation is essential to achieve a solution to issues, and there's nothing wrong with having those conversations. It's when people grab one thing and then run with it. But like with the Letitia thing, there's as you said, there's a lot more involved here.
And Roku, you said like it's adults and what she did, and you say who she is to a lot of people. That is their first experience to a black superhero. All these young girls, and that's what they look to. You talk about influencers, and I hate that term, and I hate what it is. But and she is not one per se. But you've got these people that are little girls looking up to her, follow her on Twitter, this and that, and they see that, and then they go and they don't know to look into it. They don't know everything behind transphobia, and they just see that anti-vaxxer is this, and they go off, and it's people are just like, oh, don't this and this with her. It was like you got to understand once you reach a platform and the level. Yeah. People look to you, whether that's right or wrong, and
absolutely. And the QAnon shit is wrong. All right, what's the next thing, Alex?
Next one from Evil John Madden. I'm actually happy all these movies are going to streaming. When I went to the movies, I'd go at weird times because I needed it to be empty. People suck. They talk, bring babies, get on phones, and when they cheer/scream, I miss the next line of dialogue.
Well, this is my point. If you make it exclusive, then you know, and people know, like, these are the fucking rules. You show up, you shut the fuck up, and you watch the movie. If you're on your phones, you're out. If you're opening and making loud noise about it, and your kids you're out. All this stuff, like, that needs to happen. So then your $50 ticket now buys you this full, relaxed experience where you can savor the movie at the optimal level.
Yeah, John. Go ahead,
Mike. Go ahead.
Being here in LA, and you guys probably know this, like the difference between going to an AMC and going to the ArcLight.
Yeah,
that's two different movie going experiences. Like, and I love the AMC. I have the movie pass. Yeah. They've got the best popcorn of any theater, I think. ArcLight, their popcorn is terrible. Their soda's terrible.
Oh, it's so bad.
Awful.
I agree.
It's awful. You don't get free.
Don't even defend it, Alex. I know you're an ArcLight stan.
Oh.
I know you are, Alex.
I agree, dude. I go to
refills. You don't get free refills.
When I was going to screenings, I hated seeing the popcorn out there. I was like, I'm not going to eat that popcorn.
It's so bad.
Wait. I didn't know this was a point of contention.
It's awful.
AMC popcorn is incredibly awful.
I disagree.
What? AMC popcorn?
I disagree.
Chef's kiss.
Alex,
insane.
don't make me out you for what you did during 1917. I'll out you right here.
What'd you do, Alex?
Wait, what did I do? What did I do?
He fell asleep in
yes, he did.
1917.
Gosh.
Alex.
Oh, God.
You know what? You're not on Game Time anymore.
And I thank him for the invite because it was a Q&A with Sam Mendes and Roger Deakins. He fell asleep during the movie.
It was a minute. Oh, my God, man.
You asked me what happened afterwards.
Oh, God. Maybe I shouldn't have asked, like, what did I do?
Was it during the death scene, Alex? Was it during the death scene?
Huh?
Yeah, John, it's like it says, like, the arc, like, though, the experience, like, it's not it's exclusive. It's no more expensive than AMC, but I never see families there or like groups of young kids. It's really much, or if they are, it's like people go there because they want to see the movie.
Yep.
You don't talk. They bring in the usher at the beginning of it, this and that. It's a great experience for a movie. So, and it's no more expensive than anything else. So that's maybe going to be the way. Cause I get it. And how many of us have been in the theater? Like, why are you bringing your entire family? But maybe that family it's not a babysitter because that's money that they could use for the theater. So it's, there's a give and take. So I always try and look at it like, it sucks that this 5-year-old's here at this rated R movie at 10 p.m. at night. But there's other extenuating circumstances that this person wants to see the movie. There's no babysitter canceled. So this is going to give some choices, some options, but you know.
I haven't paid for a babysitter up until 2 years ago when we had a group of friends here and we wanted to all go to a trivia night before Thanksgiving. So but I also never took a baby to a movie theater. So I will say that. And I have a big announcement. Stop the presses. Brett and Kate's Playdate is on today, 1:30 PD. PD?
PD.
That means PT.
PD.
All the newsies.
PD. So come on down, come check us out. We have stuff planned, not really. We're gonna talk. No, it's just a lot of fun, and we really interact with the fans. And as much as we joke about it being a small group, it's really a nice time for myself and Kate. And we really like to interact and have a good time and just go on tangents.
There you go.
There you have it. There you have it. That's what your money's going for. Couple of knuckleheads.
Yeah, a couple of knuckleheads over there.
All right, Alex, let's keep going. And by the way, we got 500. We crossed over $600. It looks like we're not going to make that 1,000 unless 4 of you come in the next 20 minutes with $100 each. It does not look like we're going to get that 1,000. I'm heartbroken, but that's the way it goes sometimes in life. If you guys can't hit the mark, I guess you can't hit the mark. I guess. I don't know. Your dads might not be proud of you right now. All right.
Now you're nice.
What would your dad say?
Yeah.
All right, go ahead.
Your zaddy.
Your zaddy. Was that in John Goodman, Revenge of the Nerds? When I look around this room, I see a bunch of cowards. All right, go ahead. Yeah.
Evil John Madden says, I know a lot of people say Dave Chappelle is the GOAT, but people really have to see Bill Burr. He has been the best for about a decade. I just rewatched Paper Tiger on Netflix. Amazing. He gives no shits. I love how he calls out the SJWs and PC idiots.
Bro.
It's
I love you.
It's apples and oranges, I think, with the two of them.
Yeah. Literally. It's not Chappelle is not the GOAT. Let's put that on the table. Eddie is the GOAT. Eddie will always be the GOAT. Nobody can touch Eddie.
Okay.
Eddie is the GOAT. Eddie,
not George Carlin?
Not
George Carlin?
No, I wouldn't put Carlin as the GOAT.
Really?
I wouldn't. For me, it's either Eddie or Richard. Those are the two. What do you? I mean, Brett, you've done comedy.
I don't. In what context?
That greatest comedian ever.
Oh, greatest comedian. That's tough for me. Yeah. Oh, jeez.
Stand-up comedian. Just say stand-up. Sorry.
Okay, Eddie. Maybe.
I'm gonna go Carlin because of just span of just like jokes, but also just really being edgy and getting messages out there, and really, I love his whole his bit about how your vote actually doesn't count, and that the government wants to keep
big
you
corporations.
Dumb. Yeah, they don't want smart people voting. They want to keep you dumb. So. Yeah.
What Brett said, like, think about how many people now are like, God, can you imagine if Carlin was alive right now?
Oh yeah.
No one's clamoring for Eddie Murphy to make commentary on what's going on in the world.
True.
Like, I think, yeah, Carlin, man, there was just something about him. And
I was
I mean, God, his favorite bit about the 7 words you can't say on TV. Or oh God, brilliant.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the whole namesake for Impolite Truths is from Darina's love of Carlin. Because that's what we wanted to be the foundation for that show.
Excellent.
Straight up, yeah. All right, what's next, Alex? Oh, Alex is gone. Oh, all right. Anybody else?
I'm back, baby. I'm back.
And Garth McMurray, I agree. Bill Hicks also up there.
Oh, Hicks? Yeah, I love Hicks.
Yeah, I wish his career wasn't cut off. He was oh man, that belly laughter and also just edgy as hell. And he's one of my favorites.
Yeah. Okay. Alex.
Right. Senator Bale Orgasm says, Hello, everyone. Just saw Kalinowski's reaction to the WAP video. I laughed when he pointed out the fountain with giant boobs squirting milk. Have you all seen it? And what are y'all's favorite Cardi songs or any rap songs? You first, Jamal. Y'all have a great weekend. Thanks.
Who's Jamal?
Yeah, they still don't know my. It was revealed on, I think, Wednesday that my first name actually starts with a J.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, we were gonna set a dollar amount. So if we hit 1,000, there you go. But what was the question?
What's your favorite Cardi B?
Cardi B donated $20.
That's mine.
Thank you.
So today is my birthday, and I gotta say it kinda sucks. First year in forever I'm not out with friends going for dinner having drinks. Can Anaconda Brett please turn this day around?
Anaconda Brett?
To make your birthday better?
That's right.
All right, let's see here. What's the matter? Why are you having such a horrible birthday? What you need to do is go buy yourself a bunch of snakes and shave your balls with some Manscaped and just dance around with the snakes and just feel alive. Okay, man? But don't get them too big, because then they'll bite your face off.
Very nicely
well
done.
Yeah,
Happy birthday,
I don't know.
Chrissy.
Very well done.
He's petering off, I think.
Well, he only donated 20, not 100,
Yeah.
so you're not going to get the full best Anaconda. Go ahead. All right, Alex, what's next?
Wait, anybody else have any rap songs to share?
Cardi B, Bodak Yellow. Like, that, and the car is not great, but man, you get on a loudspeaker, that song bangs, dude. That song goes hard.
I love the fact that both Sabrina and even you both are the yes, and I'm like, I couldn't tell you one of her songs. I know the WAP video, and only because of people pointing it out to me, and I had to watch that thing.
The WAP video.
WAP
video.
The WAP.
That's the WAP. I'm the WAP. I'm
video.
WAPs are white Anglo-Saxon princesses, aren't
Yeah.
they? WAPs?
No,
That's
that's
what a WAP
wasps.
is. So I say it's
That's wasps.
Oh, wasps.
Yeah.
Get your derogatory racial slurs correct, man. It's a
Hey, I'm white. I can say about that one. That is one I can talk about.
Right?
That's one I can say something about.
That's all you, brother, man.
Cardi B, that was like a sexual Harry Potter, that video. That's awesome. Doorknobs made of dildos and whatnot. Ooh. Yep.
And the filth and the flarn. All right, anyway.
Flinging the flarn and the flarn. And
you put the bells in the people.
you put
All right,
the thing in the pudding in the pudding pop. Oh. There you go,
see
Bill
me
Cosby.
clearly?
That's one. That's one.
All right. That's good. That's good. Yeah, good.
That's
all
a
right.
good rap tune. I have
Alex?
favorite rap artists.
You
Eric
do?
B. and Rakim that I mentioned the other day.
Nice.
I burned De La Soul, some old school. Tribe Called Quest, Far Side.
TCQ.
And most recently, Run the Jewels. That live, somebody sent me a link to that live concert. For them to have that like breath control and do that live is amazing.
Yep.
And they had Zach De La Rocha and Pharrell is in a really cool tune on that one. But also very good message and whatnot. So I love that as far as rap tunes go.
So Sheridan. All right, what do we got, Alex?
Shout out to Childish Gambino and Anderson .Paak and Chance the Rapper for me.
Sure. Cool.
All right.
Yeah.
Bella says, okay, Ben, you looking really good with the facial hair. Is it racist to say you look more Mexican? LOL.
Oh,
Sabrina.
Jesus. Yes.
The answer
Sabrina, have you
is-
seen any of the Small Axe movies yet? Despite Letitia Wright acting up, Mangrove is so good.
Yeah, not yet, but we're gonna have a review on all of them on First Cut. So stay tuned for that.
They are so good. I think Lovers Rock and Mangrove are both could be Best Picture noms. I think Steve McQueen could be a guy who has 2 films in Best Picture.
Has the Boyega one dropped yet?
That drops today.
today.
Okay. All right. That's the one I've been
Red,
waiting
white,
for.
and blue tonight.
I'm gonna watch that one and then go backwards and watch the other ones.
And what's that on Hulu?
It's on Prime, Amazon
Prime. Got it.
Incredible.
Go ahead, Alex.
All right, next one from Shivin. Apparently, Disney is merging Hulu and Disney Plus. Thoughts on that? Now, this is not confirmed, but I see that Jeff Snyder has a article on Collider speculating about this. That Collider is hearing that multiple Hulu executives have been leaving or let go from the streaming service in anticipation of the move that Hulu could fold into Disney Plus. So, what do you guys think of this if this actually happens?
Shouldn't he be studying Schmoedown instead? All right. Anyway, all right, yeah. What do you guys think? What do you guys think?
I think it's great. What was the question?
It's if Hulu and Disney Plus will merge.
I think it'd be fine because then it cheapens.
Yeah.
Look, they've been selling Hulu, Disney Plus, and ESPN Plus as a package. So what does that do if you've bought the package? Do you get a discount? Do you get a refund? But either way, less streaming services, I think, is not a bad thing. More content on one streaming service, it only makes sense.
A bigger package, always better.
Hey-o!
Yep. Bingo.
Soundbite. Thank you.
Take those shoelaces. Yes, good to go. Wait, hold on. One thing, I gotta promote this.
Just in.
Guys, make sure you guys are aware. Hey, have you been sitting around thinking you could take on people in the Schmoedown like the Outlaw or Killer Kalinowski or even Ben Goddard or even the Brett Sheridan, the undefeated Brett Sheridan? If you've been thinking that you could take us on, well, there is an audition. That's right. Christian Harloff has put this out. You can audition to be in the draft of the Schmoedown. That's insane. If you remember last year, draft had all kinds of drama. Some guy just made a big deal out of it. I can't remember his name right now. Made a big deal out about where he was drafted. It was, all kinds of things happen at the draft. You want to be there. And Christian Harloff is giving an opportunity to get yourself placed in the draft. You have to send a 1-minute video telling why you'd be great in the Schmoedown, what makes you great in the Schmoedown, and how much you love the Schmoedown. You send it to mtsaudition@gmail.com. Make sure you list your favorite movies, what division you think you could hang in, and then cut a promo. Good luck with that. Against any Schmoedown personality and see if you have what it takes to hang in the Schmoedown. Once again, that's at MTS, capital letters, MTS, audition@gmail.com. Send it in. Trust me, Christian is looking at all. I mean, there's nothing he enjoys more than spending an afternoon listening to you all tell him how much you love his show. So please put that out there. Send it in. Audition for yourself. See if you can get involved. And who knows? You might get drafted and play alongside some of the people you're looking at on the screen right now. So,
and even better yet, if you're famous. If you're famous, do it too.
Ooh, taking shots at Kevin Smith.
No, I'm just saying.
Oh, Shadow! Coming for the mall rat. No! Gabagoogoo again, you clerks.
Not at all. I was just saying we need lots of famous people to make it more popular.
Wow, you just slapped Kevin Smith in the face. I love it. All right.
Well,
all right.
Alex?
Moving on with Streamlabs.
See.
Town goes Smith.
50 Shades of Geek says, Ben, what do you mean video games don't work? There's no, not that one. Well, how about no, that one sucks too. But there's also, actually, never mind. Thank you very much, 50 Shades of Geek. Eddie314 says, big news, Disney Plus and Hulu reportedly looking to combine into one streaming service with adult content such as Fox's entire library being added. This could also give a chance for shows like Daredevil to be brought back. This could be big. Thoughts?
No. Daredevil is not coming back as a show. Stop
back.
it.
Not on Netflix. It's not, and not on streaming. It is.
And yeah, we talked about it on Geek Buddies.
Yes,
Mike.
we did.
There's
Yes,
no
we did. I
way.
was like, where did we talk about this recently? It's like, yesterday.
Yeah, we don't think it's going to happen. We don't think Charlie Cox is going to come back. We think Daredevil might come back, but probably not Charlie Cox.
Charlie Cox is a weird one, but stranger things have happened.
True, but not as a TV show. If it'll come back, I think it'll come back as a movie or be part
as a TV show.
Huh? Yeah.
Stranger Things has happened as a TV show.
Yeah,
Oh.
I hear
All right.
You went from zaddy to daddy. You're going down a step.
Damn.
What is the difference between a zaddy and a daddy? Sabrina, what's the
Zaddy?
difference between a zaddy and a daddy?
Everything is subjective, so it's person to person, but
Okay.
zaddy is just that one step forward. It like I said, it's like the Antonio Banderas. It's not like you can think someone's very attractive and handsome. Like I think Armie Hammer's handsome, but I wouldn't call him a zaddy. I would call like Oscar Isaac a zaddy.
Is it have anything to do with age?
No,
that's the
you don't
daddy,
have
isn't
to-
it?
Yeah, you don't have to have kids. You can be like any age. It's more about like the BDE that they're bringing. You know, it's the physicality of it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Big.
I remember.
Big damn excitement.
Yeah, big
Exactly.
segment.
Yeah,
Bring that.
I remember
big
there
damn
was this pushback by older women about being called cougars. Now, can older men push back and say, "Don't call me a zaddy. I'm not a zaddy"? Would you respect that?
I feel like that's more of a silver fox thing. Cougar and silver fox are more.
That's more correlative. Okay.
I would say
Yeah,
so.
and
But
I
most
know
guys
men,
won't push back on silver fox. Good.
Well, I know men hate compliments. The fuck are you talking about, bro?
I was always looking for these mics knocking down. I was always under the impression that the zaddy was a step forward from being a daddy. Like a lot of the people that I follow on social media, when they post like, "Oh, zaddy," it's
where's the
Oscar
graph
Isaac,
when
he's
we
got
need
the
one?
gray,
I know.
it's the
I'm
silver,
making a
it's the
PowerPoint.
it's the salt and pepper in the hair. That's what I hear. I hear a lot of gay men refer with the zaddy.
Oh, there you go. Now you start walking the line. What's wrong with
It's about the girls, the gays, and the theys. Like that's where zaddy really shines.
Let's see.
I made a chart for you.
I have.
It's over daddy.
Got it.
So
You need the greater
That's
than
perfect.
symbol, Alex. You need the greater than symbol.
So if we're looking
Yeah,
at Alex's chart, Ben went from zaddy, and then he made that joke, and then he went down to daddy.
Because it's like
Yeah.
you make a dad jokes. Okay, all right.
Okay.
Is Laddie in play?
There we go.
Laddie's in play?
Laddie.
All right.
we got a few more to go. We got a few more to go here.
Oh, sorry.
Zaddies.
Yeah, go ahead, Alex. Go.
Speaking of Zaddy, Soul Shayer says, been rewatching the Mission Impossible movies again recently. Jesus, those movies just transform into great A+ action movies entertainment. Just a shout out to the madman in those productions. Up there with the Bourne franchise for modern action classics. I'm sure Mike will agree.
I think. I'm sorry. Is there more to it? I didn't mean to cut.
No.
Yeah, I agree. I did a Mission Impossible rewatch recently. Those films, even the stumble with 2, just have gotten better and better. And to see everything McQuarrie. If you guys don't follow McQuarrie on Twitter and Instagram, follow him because he's every day.
Right?
McQuarrie.
He is posting. What did I say, McQuarrie?
Yeah, phrasing guy. Yeah.
Hold on, McQuarrie. That's just tomato.
Is it
Hey,
though?
you're talking to the cast that gets on me for saying Idris Elba and Josh Brolin.
Fair. That was Kate. To be fair, that was Kate. Go ahead.
Yeah, McQuarrie. That's apples and oranges.
Okay.
All right.
Yes, it is. Settle down.
Alba. I hear you. Yeah.
His Instagram is always every day. He's on set in Rome and filming MI7 and 8 back to back, and that cast is so stacked for what's coming up.
I'm excited.
Great.
Yeah, you sounded. My God.
Every time I say I'm excited, I'm yawning. I don't know why. It's a thing.
All right.
It's so fun.
All right, 50 Shades of Geek says, speaking of songs that sound alike, there's a Hebrew song by Israeli singer Shlomo Artzi.
Guilt_trip_Rocha donated $50.
Thank you, Gil.
Sure you'll cover on Strong Style, but thoughts on Stinger's return?
Actually, we're not covering that today on Strong Style because we pre-recorded this episode because my co-host is going in for a colonoscopy, and it's inspired by the Smet stuff and what happened with Chadwick Boseman. So we decided to do a pre-produced show where we count down our top 10 wrestlers of all time. Yeah. So watch that today at 4 p.m. I will be in the chat, live chatting as a premiere, talking with you all about it as we're watching it. But we will cover the Sting thing maybe separately, depending on how he recovers from it over the weekend. So look for that.
I'll just say, since we actually get some impressions in, that I think Sting should stick to playing the bass and singing. I don't think he'd be wrestling. He's an old man. He should just stick to tantric sex and playing an instrument and not being there with these young pups wrestling around Greco-Roman, oiling each other up and throwing belts in the air.
All right.
So that's my thought on Sting.
Yeah, there we go.
Impression one down.
All right. Finishing up 50 Shades of Geeks, saying that Shlomo Artzi called a song called King of the World. That's literally the same tune as When You Are a King by White Plains. Okay. Okay, next one from Popcorn. Let's do a quick answers on these. What was the last movie you've seen that was completely batshit? Mine was The Book of Henry. Absolutely cut Trevorrow from directing a Star Wars movie. LOL, the hell was that? A 10-year-old was doing his mom's taxes. Hi, Ryan.
Mamma Mia.
Hey.
What regard, batshit?
Probably just the events were like crazy.
Quick.
Cats.
Cats.
Book of Henry was
Yeah, it's-
rough, though. I know there was a lot going on to why he got taken off that movie, but I do attribute a lot of it to Book of Henry. That movie's rough.
Yeah. Also,
Gotcha.
50 Shades of Grey 2, whatever the second one's called.
Darker?
Yeah.
Yeah, that one is so bad. I was watching it. There's this whole like, there's these lines of dialogue back and forth, and it's the worst thing I've ever heard in my entire life.
I didn't
Like,
think
I
it was
can't listen to
bad,
that.
but it was batshit. Was Neon Demon?
Oh yeah.
Oh,
That
yeah.
one was like, what the fuck?
I love Neon Demon. It's one of my
say,
favorite movies.
Rise of Skywalker. That's the last batshit crazy movie I saw. Where are we
All right,
going?
moving on.
How are they connected? What is whatever. Fine. You brought it back to life. What are the ships doing? What? Anyway, go ahead. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's a
Right,
clone.
Patricia Metz. Okay. Patricia Metz says, Ben, it's your heart I love. As a big girl, it's all about how happy and healthy you are.
Oh,
Thank you very much, Patricia.
Yes.
50 Shades Geek says, my French girlfriend said I should treat her like a queen, so I cut her head off. And then he follows up with,
Jesus.
I would like to make sure everyone understands that last Streamlab was a joke. I mean, come on, girlfriend. Me? Like that's ever gonna happen?
Oh, man. Double whammy.
50 Shades
Wow.
of Geek.
Hold your head
All
up,
right.
King.
Yeah.
You got this.
All right, next one is from Charlie Brown. One of the best George Carlin bits is when he explains of the multiple torturous things God will do to you if you defy any of the 10 Commandments, and he ends with the punchline, but he loves you. Classic.
Yes.
Charlie Brown says also, I concur with the previous person saying that Ben looks more Mexican now. As a fellow Mexican, welcome home. He kind of looks slightly like Diego Luna in Narcos.
I'll take Diego Luna. I'll take Diego Luna.
That's good.
50 Shades of-
I think Ben would look more Mexican if
No.
he had a leaf blower. And,
Oh my God, Elmo!
Elmo, you son of a bitch.
I knew something terrible was gonna happen.
Desgraciado, Elmo. Desgraciado. What are you
Oh
doing?
my God, Elmo!
Elmo.
Sometimes they really do hurt me. Like most of the time.
You don't have to go so hard, Elmo. Jesus. Come close at least. Just-
Hey, Watch a Day Without a Mexican. Great film.
Yeah.
And, that's where I got that from. I don't know.
Did you guys ever see what
Backpedal.
Kelly Osbourne said? On, I think it was on The View or something. She went, Donald Trump, if you want to get rid of every Mexican, who's going to clean your toilets? And then
Yes.
everybody on the panel was like, oh, girl, no.
Yeah, that
What a
was...
surprise.
Oh boy. Okay, moving
I
on.
thought she was coming, just fucking hitting one out of the park.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everyone went,
Nope.
Foul
She
ball.
backtracked like crazy.
Foul ball.
What an idiot.
All right, 50 Shades of Geek says, I finally finished childproofing my house. Now there's no way one of them is getting in. I had to resend this one because Ben left the show early the last time I sent it.
Oh, yes.
On the Embers says, on the World Girls the other day, Coy said his favorite performance of all time is Heath Ledger in Joker. Do you guys have a favorite performance ever by an actor? I had to think hard, but mine is Adrian Brody in The Pianist.
Wait, he's saying all time ever, like
Yeah.
in any movie ever?
All time ever.
That's
Jesus.
ridiculous.
Jesus.
That's ridiculous.
It's a good one. I mean,
It's staying on brand, I guess, but it's ridiculous.
God.
I mean, Brando and All the Waterfront is almost untouchable. Daniel Day-Lewis in Lincoln is phenomenal. I mean, there are so many great.
mine's
great
Isabelle Huppert in The Piano Teacher.
Oh, look at you trying to get all artsy. All right.
It's crazy, her performance in that.
Isabelle Huppert. Sheridan?
Mine is
Ben?
Amelie from Amelie.
Ben, do you got one?
Mine's this tiny little independent film. You guys probably haven't seen it. It's like 6 hours long, and it's just a guy cutting bread, and it's like such a good.
It's a German expression.
Yeah.
It's a slice of life.
Kalinowski.
You can't do your own fucking.
God, I don't know, dude. I don't.
ready to.
Right?
That's too. God, I'd have to think about it.
Yeah.
Think about it.
That's
I
a
have no
tough
idea.
question.
Yeah, it's a.
Yeah.
Look, I'm gonna
I
see
love-
behind me. See what I got.
I love Anna Karina in everything that she's in. Every single film. I think she's
Who?
incredible.
Wait,
Anna Karina?
isn't that the
Peter
movie?
LaFou.
Anna Karenina, is that what you're talking about?
Anna
That's
Karenina.
No.
The
Oh,
French-
Anna Karina. The French actress.
Oh.
Yeah, like
fair
a woman
point.
is a
French
woman.
wave.
Gotcha.
There you go.
Okay. Cool point.
I just saw it back there. I'll say Jake Gyllenhaal and Jarhead.
That's a great performance.
I really love Jarhead quite a bit. and he's really, really good in it.
Yeah.
No one brings that one up with him either.
Nope,
It's
they all
always
say like
Nightcrawler.
Nightcrawler and stuff, but I
Yeah,
I think it's like people were expecting another Black Hawk Down out of Jarhead, and it was literally the exact opposite. But I love Jarhead.
That's Mendes. Man. He's fantastic directing that film.
I'd go with Paddington
tough.
in Paddington 2.
Oh!
Paddington 2.
Hey, I was gonna say it's got to be Paddington too.
Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna jump into super chats, but if anybody has to head out, please feel free to.
Feel free. If you got a
Bryant Brawler says, this guy Rocha just doesn't know how to act. Maybe he will become civilized one day. Boba Tea is fire.
Boba Tea is fire.
Bryant Brawler also says, as one of the children who get what they want, I'm an anime fan. I've been waiting week to week for shows, week to week to watch shows for quite a long time now. So hold your horses, Rocha.
Good for you. Good for you.
Joel Rolston says, WB's 2021 schedule puts Disney in a bind. Talk about some competition. My previous prediction of no industry normalcy till 2025 is looking accurate.
Okay.
Yep.
You'll get all of them.
All right, Renetta W says the Mando episode this week was fire. It was the definition of short but sweet. I actually sat up out of my seat on a few scenes. I couldn't believe it. Robert Rodriguez did an excellent job. Love you all.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. Joel Rolston also says, increase the tempo of the X-Men theme song, and it sounds like we didn't start the fire. All right, well,
I gotta try that one. I'll later today.
And then the last one for the day is from The Hunt for Gollum. You guys need to check out that video that hold on. I'll read that one next week actually. Otherwise, let's all let me check Streamlabs one more time.
You better.
Okay.
I think somebody said you missed
Somebody
one.
says I missed one.
No.
Otherwise, we still have our impressions.
Welcome to the party.
Yeah.
Yeah. We still have our impressions to do, but otherwise, I think that's all.
I think I knocked my last one out with Elmo.
I think so. I agree.
And I canceled myself at the same time.
You have to wear your Nebraska hat next time you do
Yes.
it.
Oh my God! Wow. All right, who's got impressions? Who's got them? Let's do them. Anybody?
I don't know, but I'm pretty fucking excited about who's gonna be on a Bill Burr's comedy special over here. You guys talking about me, the best fucking comedian on the fucking planet? I'm not going to Batu over here. I'm not a stormtrooper, but I got a wicked clean shot over here. So let's go to a Harvard bar and get wicked hammered.
Sabrina.
I guess I'll do 40s J-Lo. The hand already comes up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Y'all remember when we used to just, be able to hang out, hug each other, go to the movies, all of that? Like 50 years ago.
That's good. That's good. I like that. Ryan, what do you got?
I'll do Carson Wentz. Yeah, I'm going to keep doing the same thing over and over again. Just, go out there every week. We're going to do our best. It just didn't happen for us this week. And I think it'll be different next week if I do the same exact thing each and every week. And, I think it's going to win out. Yeah, we're just not clicking, but it will get there. I think I'm feeling good about this one this week. And, yeah, I said that last week. Well, let's wait and see.
Galanowski, what do you got?
All right. God, it's been a while. When I first heard that HBO was going to not release their films in theaters, my tears echoed through the house, just like the time I told young Master Bruce that I would stand by him, and I was upset that those push-ups he was doing were to lift the bloody log. That's how I felt about the slate of these films. And I knew that there's a new Batman film coming out in 2022. And if that doesn't come into theaters, mark my words, my tears will echo through the house too.
Really?
There you go.
That is
There you go. It's been a while.
Alex, what have you got?
Hey, yo, it's me, Lin-Manuel Miranda. My movie got pushed back a whole year, and now it's gonna be on HBOmax. What is this? Come on, give me some more theatrical. Keep it only in theaters, in the Heights. That's me. That's all me, baby. And Hamilton, I did that too.
List of titles.
I think that's good. Or should we do more? I think that's good, isn't it?
I like it. I like it.
And on a high note.
Yes, and on a high note. We're out of here. We're going to get going with our weekend. Thank you all so much for joining us here on SEN Live. A great show. Great show. Fantastic.
Oh, there it is.
People here. They were all incredible. By the way, correction for you. If you are going to send in the video, Christian Harloff just texted me. It's actually 3 to 5 minute video. So you have more time to create what you need to create. Remember, it's mtsaudition@gmail.com. If you want to audition to be a part of the Schmoedown, to be in the draft, a 3 to 5 minute video, do it that way. Thank you to Sabrina Ramirez. Thank you to Alex Marzoña. Thanks to Brett Sheridan, a brother in life, Mike Kalinowski, Ben Goddard, and Ryan Nilsen. And thanks to all of you all so much for your Streamlabs Super Chat Schmoedown. You know we couldn't do this show without you, so we thank you. We love you. Be safe. Wear your mask, practice social distancing, and come back and see us on Monday morning at 10 a.m. PT for another brand new episode of SEN Live. Much love to all of you.